I feel some things have changed when I did. Gotta fix audio. Okay, so what do I need to do? Because I didn't change anything on here. What's new? What did I change new? Okay, that's at 100. You guys cannot hear me at all? Because if not, this is very new. Okay, you guys can hear me. Cool. I was like, wait, what's happening? So I'm good. Just checking. I'm good. You guys can't hear me. Okay, cool. I was like, yo, this is a little crazy. 0874 white. I'm putting you in the raffle, as you know from before, when I would give out just like from $10 to $25 gift cards to say Starbucks, get a coffee, get whatever. It's just for supporting me. You don't have to do anything else. We are starting over, and I only have like 2 people that have joined in on the new $100. Our last winners, you know, they already collected. Miranda was the last winner on this time around. Let me put my guys. I do this for y'all. Y'all already know. So there goes my Cash App. For every $5 donated in my Cash App, I give you 2 tickets into the gold dome. I'm gonna say, shake it up. You guys already know. Sci picks them out, and that's the winner. They can choose to either split 50-50 or 4 ways, 25, and get extra tickets in. So go ahead, hit that Cash App, Naomi China D. Every $5, like I said, you get 2 tickets in just for showing up and participating in the chat or even on panel. You get tickets into me just giving you gift cards. And I don't really choose like, oh, I'm going to pick one. Sometimes I pick 4 people, 5 people. It just depends. I do it normally on a game night where I'm just picking out tickets and I give you gift cards to wherever you are. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you know, I'm giving out Walmart or Target or Starbucks, whatever gift cards, just for my appreciation. So let's see. With this case, there's not a super big update, but I have been following it like literally like, you know, trying to see what's going on with the whole situation with Samuel Olson, because his life was taken so in a very vicious way. So to kind of recap for you guys that don't know, I'm going to play one of the newscasts where she was acting like, oh, she didn't know what was going on. It was a young lady named Teresa Balboa was named dating a man named Dalton. What I gathered from this is she was being kind of jealous of the little boy's relationship with the dad and kind of had a little vengeance towards him. But I didn't understand that because in the apartment she was living in, even though Dalton, you know, he was kind of down on his luck. His child's mother, she didn't have all her stuff together. So he took in the child, was living with a friend in their house. Teresa, which was his girlfriend, had an apartment that she shared with a guy friend, ex-boyfriend type deal, which helped her in this crime and covered up, you know, when there was maintenance people coming over to the property to check up and do maintenance and things like this baby was already expired. They had him laying in the bed and he helped her cover up the baby, making it look like he was sleeping in the bed when they had him in the bathtub. They had to fix something in the bathtub. They transferred him to the bed, made him look like he was sleeping. He helped him to the storage room, helped her to the storage room. Another friend she helped helped her take the crate she put the baby in, wrapped him up in black plastic, put him in one of those tubs you get from Home Depot with the black bottom, the yellow top, and had him in a storage before she was transporting him. She said she was trying to get to Mississippi so she could put him in the river so the alligators could eat him. She had a whole plan. She got caught in a hotel. So we're going to look into that right now. Let me bring that up for you guys real quick. Here we go. And this is just being prolonged, guys. And I'll let you guys know why.
The father of Samuel Olson with a message after a whirlwind of developments unfolded just over the past 48 hours.
Remember, Dalton Olson's girlfriend is Teresa Balboa. She's the one charged with tampering with evidence in connection with this case.
Yeah, but Samuel's father says despite the claims against Balboa, he had nothing to do with the boy's disappearance. Our Jonathan Martinez continues our live team coverage now with what the boy's father had to say through his attorney tonight. Jonathan?
Yeah, Chris, and through his attorney, that little boy's father said again he did not have anything to do with his son's disappearance and presumed death. He is shaken by everything that's happened. Of course, the family is mourning right now. Also this evening, we spoke to the residents at this apartment complex where that little boy's body is believed to have been for days. As new details about the body of a child found at a Jasper motel believed to be that of 6-year-old Samuel Olson come to light, his father Dalton, through his attorney, denies being involved, saying, quote, he had nothing to do with the death of his son and that the family is in mourning, shocked, and in disbelief. Olson's attorney also saying right now they're wanting answers as to what happened and why. Teresa Balboa, who's Dalton's girlfriend, has been charged with tampering with evidence in the case. According to court documents, it's believed the child's body was in an apartment in the Webster area for days that Balboa shared with the roommate before allegedly being taken to a storage facility and then to Jasper.
It's crazy that something like that can happen so close, especially with having a newborn. Like, I couldn't imagine losing my kid.
A next door neighbor who also happens to be a new mother recalls seeing police in the area and is in shock about what happened.
I was hoping that the baby boy was returned home safe and sound, and now I'm just hoping for justice for the family.
With many questions still unanswered about the case, his attorney says right now Dalton is with family and friends as they process what's happened. And again tonight, many are hoping those questions will be answered through the ongoing investigations and court proceedings to come. We are reporting live from the Webster area. I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC 2 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Our coverage of the Samuel Olson case extends on Click to Houston.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to press unmute. I did drop the link in the chat just for those that have, know about this case and have been there from day one. Go ahead, hop in, join the conversation because this is ridiculous. And I feel like justice, things can happen so quickly. You take someone's life like that, and it's like the family has to go years and years and years. I see decade after decades of cases to where these families are going through, court date after court date, or not even that, what we're dealing with right now, and they're prolonging and prolonging and prolonging. And I'm just like, what else do we need? She was found with the baby's body in the hotel room. They're asking her, so what were you going to do? She said, I was planning on taking him to Mississippi, putting him in the river so the alligators can eat him. What else do we need? Even the friend she had help her. He says he didn't know what was going on, but it was a weird stench. She got to stay with her and whatever. He's the one that alarmed them and things like that. So it's just like, hey, he knew a little something fishy was going on. And then his mother's like, well, if it wasn't for that, then you guys wouldn't know where the body was or anything like that. I just feel like that's very inconsiderate and kind of nasty. And when you say Tim was on her behind, yes, he was. How she was acting in the beginning, she was right, leaning on his shoulder. Could you imagine that? This woman literally took your child's life and she's on your shoulder crying and trying to help you look. But when she knew they were going to go to the house and start looking at things like that, she's like, oh, I got to go. I got to do this. I got to do that. That's kind of what set them off. Like, wait, you're supposed to be here helping us. Why? Where you got to go? What you got to do? What you got to do right now to where you got to leave? I just didn't understand it. Yes. Hey, Jay. Miranda. Very sad. I don't know if you're around during this time, Miranda, but baby disappeared. They could not find her. They're like, where's she at? We need to ask her some questions. What's going on? Nothing. So here's a little clip of when, wait, hold on. I don't think I should even show that yet. Let me show, I want to show a little bit of the timeline before I even show. Hold on, let me see what this one's about. I'm not going to do me like this. They always try to do this little. I wanted to show. Okay, let me show you guys this. This is what I want you to show you guys. Oh, I think I clicked out on the main one I want to show you guys, but it's okay. I have a lot of different clips. I am going to, I don't want this to start playing during it, but why, you know, this case, and when we were looking into, this was during the same time as Cash and all them. You know, I was in on, you know, the Cash and things like that, but there were certain ones that I was looking into and she was looking into, and so things like that. So look at this clip of when they were trying to catch up with her and things like that. It's like, where you at, girl? Like, what are you running for? So look at this clip real quick. Hey, Jeanette.
Hello.
How are you, boo?
Good.
Yeah, I had to do a recap because I'm like going down my list, and you know, I had to get a whole new computer, so I don't have any of my old stuff. So I was like, you know what, I got to do recaps on all the cases that I was doing because I don't want to keep people on like a cliffhanger. And I see a lot of like YouTubers, you go back into their archives and you're like, wait, what happened to this case? They don't give you updates. So I just want to kind of like recap, you know, everyone that's new, so they know when I start going into it, because the case is going to start coming back to life again. So I don't want to just be like, where is this coming from? So this is a little clip of her when she was trying to run. I'm going to do a little timeline, have multiple things to show you guys. We're just going to catch y'all up into it. And at the end, I'm just going to let you guys know what's going on with it. And I'm going to be following it so we can catch all the new stuff. So everybody will be up to date.
Well, so it said his autopsy. I remember this case, and it was blunt force trauma, and she'd put him in a plastic box. This is the one, right?
Yes, this is the one where she, so remember he was having hard times, and he was, hold on, let me bring this down a little bit. And he was, you know, he took over taking care of his child because the mom was doing whatever she was doing, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And he took the baby to school. Teresa ended up picking him up from school. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he kept trying to go get his son. And she's like, oh, no, you know, he had COVID. I had COVID, whatever the case is going on. You know, you can't come pick him up. I'm going to quarantine him.
I thought she said that the mother picked him up or something, told the dad.
That's what she told them. Right. But she went and picked him up from school. She said, telling the dad, you know, no, don't come get him. You know, I'm gonna take care of him. You know, he's sick, whatever the case, you know. And then she did. I don't know how she did this because he was already deceased. They found that out. He was already deceased by the time, because they're like, well, you haven't talked to him. And they're like, he's like, yeah, I did talk to him. I don't know what child he spoke to, but he said he spoke to him, didn't see him on FaceTime, but he spoke to his son. And, you know, this whole time she's having him think, you know, it is a COVID situation when that's not what it was. She had him chilling in the bathtub when she knew. She contacted her boyfriend, her roommate boyfriend that was with her, and said, hey, I need you to come home, because she had already killed him and had him in the tub, and there was a maintenance person going to come over. They had to transfer him over to the room so he can handle the bathroom. And that's when she ended up getting him wrapped up. The neighbor, when she was hearing all that knocking and all that, that's all that was going on, ended up, you know, taking the baby's body to the storage, having another friend help, taken to the storage. And then that friend that took it to the storage, when taking it to the storage, getting him from the storage, taking him to the hotel room, that's a friend that kind of was like, hey, it smells a little crazy, whatever. After spending time with her in the hotel, what was they doing? We don't know. And then from there, we like linked them on to like, hey, go check this out. When they checked it, opened up the bin, the baby was in there. That's when they found the blunt force trauma. She beat this baby to death. and wrapped him up like heartless. And then the thing is, we're gonna hear from her baby dad, her children, which in the thing is, with also, I'm like, why would you let her be with your child if she didn't even have custody of her children? It's being said that he didn't know of the relationship, but some sources are saying he did know that she had children and wasn't able to be around them. So we're going to get there. I'm just trying to get all this out there so everybody can know when I start talking about the case again, because it's going to come back, full throttle, because I've been waiting, and they just keep pushing it back. So here's one of the of her running from them. This is real quick. Okay. And then I'm going to show another one after this, and then we'll go from there. All right. So this is when they pull up on, I believe she had is it a Charger or a Challenger? They pulled, like, they were trying to like pull up on her. And I don't believe she had the baby wasn't in this car. He was in a truck that she had her friends come by and pick him up. I don't know if they're going to show it right here where they actually like pull up on her. This isn't where they pull. This car, this sheriff right there is one of the sheriffs that, do you remember, Jeanette, the video that I showed where they actually pulled up on her? I don't know if it's a Charger. It wasn't a Camaro, but I think it was a Charger, a black Charger. And it was on the outside of her apartment complex. Do you remember?
It's been a long time.
It has been a little while.
But I remember the case and how awful it was. And I remember the grandmother speaking out. So I remember parts of the case, but
parts of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the timeline right now. That way we can kind of get up to it. And then I'm going to play the, what's that called? The press release. Let me play the timeline first so it can kind of like get people up to speed. Because when I start talking about it, I don't want everybody to be like, what are you talking about? So here's the timeline. Boom.
In the case of Samuel Olson, today a judge raised the bond for the woman charged in connection with his disappearance.
Teresa Balboa does remain in jail tonight on bonds that total $600,000. She is the girlfriend of Samuel's father.
Balboa could face more charges if the body that was found in that East Texas motel room last week turns out to be that of the missing Houston boy.
KPRC2's Brandon Walker walks us through the twists and turns in this tragic case.
He loves Buzz Lightyear and Woody.
Little 5-year-old Samuel Olson.
We just need information on anybody that knows anything.
At the center of a custody battle between his mom and dad. Often ping-ponging between homes, including grandparents and occasionally at dad's girlfriend's place. April 30th, the last time anyone other than a family member saw Samuel. He was at school. The timeline, though, is a bit muddy. Various people coming forward offering to clear things up. May 2nd, Samuel's grandmother, Tanya Olson, said the last time she saw him was on May 2nd.
And to clear up that rumor that nobody's seen Sam since April 30th is a lie. I just provided you guys with pictures with dates.
May 10th, the dad's girlfriend, Teresa Balboa, lives in a Gulf Freeway apartment with a roommate. According to court documents, Balboa called her roommate while he was at work and tells him that Samuel is dead. Records show the roommate told investigators that he and Teresa put the child in the tub for 2 days. May 13th, the roommate told police that he bought duct tape and a plastic tote, and they wrapped the body in a plastic sheet, placed it in a tote bag in the body's vehicle, according to court documents. He said he and Balboa drove to a...
Do you remember that when he finally came forward and his mom tried to say, well, if it wasn't for my son, then you guys wouldn't know anything? Just because he was like, well, I let it be known that I went and bought the tape, the crate, the guy that she was living with, that was her friend, but later on it was known to be one of her exes or her boyfriend at the time. He went and bought the box for the boy, the flags, the tape, the zip ties.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. But he even helped transport it into the back of the truck. And the neighbor was like, we did see that in the back of the truck, but we didn't think anything of it. And they had just moved in right after they done that. That is just crazy. Like, she has, to know that she has kids too.
Right.
What would she have done to her children because she has? And then we gonna hear her baby daddy talk. After all this happened, he's like, she never talked to me. When this started happening, she wanted to come move up here with me, and I was trying to figure out why. He was happy he didn't let her come up there and move with him. Now finding out what she did to this little boy. I don't understand that. A mother having a child of your own and then can take another woman's child because you're jealous of the relationship, to me, in my opinion, of the relationship between the boy and the dad, because oftentimes he'll be like, you know what, I'm going to do this with my son. I'm going to do this with my son. And you're like, well, I don't get enough attention. Quit being a baby. Stop.
It makes you scared if you're co-parenting for sure.
Oh, no. That's why, you know what? I was asked a question the other day. Why am I single?
I remember.
You have a child, a young child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the only reason. I'm just not into that right now, but that is a big part of it and the things that I see a lot going on. I can't be with a man. If my son says anything little, oh no, your son's just jealous. Nope. Done. I don't even care if he did it out of jealousy. Any little thing, I'm gonna believe my child no matter what, because these things happen like this. And something happening like this, I don't know what mindset I would be in to even no. No, just no. It's happening too often and it's way too much. That's always the mom's boyfriend or the dad's girlfriend. We're not gonna do that. So I'll be single to my baby boy 18 and probably past that I can have friends. We ain't gotta, I'm just cool. Me being in a long relationships, one after I'm content. Like, I don't have to deal with no crazy people like this. Cause he said I trusted her.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought she would have done anything like this. At first I was thinking, and everybody else was thinking, no, he has something to deal with it. But when you seen how the neighbors would talk about their bond and how everybody was talking about it, you could see how, yeah, she could have been jealous of their relationship and she wanted him out of the picture.
Right.
She lied and said the mom came and got him. And they're like, wait. She's like, wait, I was way over here. There's no way I came and got him. And then her mom lied. And that's why I'm still trying to figure out, what about Teresa's mom? Because she said, yeah, the mom came and got him. She agreed. So where's her part in all this? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go into the chat. Yeah, I did say this. Jealousy of a kid is crazy. Very sad. Great story for mental health awareness. Yes. And there's another case that I'm looking into right now. And it's about a young lady. She was with a young man that she wanted to keep. And she had this baby purposely to keep this man. And after she had the baby, he still was like, I didn't want to deal with her. And I'm going to be talking about this. She beat this baby on her social media. Your dad don't want to answer the phone. He want to act like this, beating the little girl. Gorgeous little pretty little girl. It doesn't even matter if she ain't gorgeous or what everybody thinks is gorgeous. A baby beat her, 1 year old. You can even see when she was smaller than that. She had the baby grabbed up like by her onesie, walking with her like just like a bag of potatoes, just talking. Then she had another picture of her with a tie around her neck. She had another picture of her with her foot on top of the baby. Not even 1 year old yet. All because of the daddy. She didn't like the way he ain't gonna be with me. And she kept writing, somebody come adopt this little girl. I ain't want her since I had her. She only had the baby to try to keep this boy. These little girls need to understand, ain't no baby gonna keep no man at all. So stop trying to think that is a reason that is gonna keep a man. If you're not willing to take care of this baby by yourself, don't even do it. It took me how long? All my friends at the time when I had my son had 2 to 3 kids. And I had my son because I'm like, dude, I'm super old, may not be able to have another child ever. But, I was with his dad at the time. And I'm just like, yeah. But to just be, I think she was 16 or 17, had this baby. I'm going to bring it. She could have been a little bit older. And only did it to keep the man. And since he was not dealing with her, she was beating this little girl.
Wow.
Little girl. It just rubbed me all the wrong kind of ways. Let's see.
And that happens a lot.
It does. It's just it's sad. Yes, y'all hit that like button. I'm trying to tell y'all, hit that like. I've been looking at my likes. I'm like, yo, I get all these people in the chat. Everybody's showing love, but y'all forget to go out, hit that like. When you come in the building, y'all not gonna miss nothing. I promise. Just go hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Let's rock.
People should never have kids for selfish reasons because they're a gift.
They are. And you know what? My son is truly, truly a gift. Mm-hmm. Because with me thinking I couldn't, and the way he balances me out sometimes, he'd be like, Mom. Like, he talks to me so, I don't know, like he talks like a little young man sometimes. Like, Mom, you good? You okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why? He like, oh no, Mom, just checking on you. And from young, he would be doing that. I'm like, oh, he's just too cute. I don't know. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to pop up. I'm going to pop some of these on here, and then I'm going to finish out this video because I have another one to show. I need to show the press conference because I need you guys to know what's going on before I really, go in when this case start really unfolding. Sean Illuminati says there's a very foul demonic spirit on. Yes, there is, and hurting our children. And I don't know what it is. I keep saying I'm not just a children's channel, but I always end up gravitating to cases that have to do with children because they don't have a voice. They have no voice. And it's like people are hurting these kids for no reason.
I think that's
covering in the UK. A mom has a fiance, but since the fiance thinks that she's still with the baby's dad, hates the kid, and they take this kid's life, we got to go into all this because if you guys can't be with a man that can trust you, bye. If you can't trust me, just keep it moving because I'm not going to keep going over and over with you. If I told you I'm done with him, whether we have a kid or not, I'm done with him. If you got to question me about him, I'm not. This is the reason why I say I just rather be single because I'm not about to go back and forth. If I'm with you, I'm with you. Because if I just want to be in a little whatever relationship with you and not make it solid, I'll let you know that. But if I'm telling you I'm with you, don't keep questioning me. Because at that point, it's just no, I'm done. No.
I think it's been happening, but children are tracked more than they used to be. But even kids that aren't tracked. Did you hear the lady that had like 10 kids, like 10 babies? Killed them, wrapped them up and put them in her garage.
Wait. What?
Yeah. She had all these babies and wrapped them up and was storing them in the garage. Like when she'd have them, she wouldn't tell about it. She had 10 of them, 9 or 10 of them, wrapped them up, put them in her garage. And then the father of the babies was in there one day cleaning up with one of their older children, and they found one of the babies. And then they went in and she had left the home.
Wait, so she having miscarriages or she's going full term? Because that doesn't make sense. If she's going full term, he ain't noticed none of these 10.
She was going full term having these babies. Yeah.
He knew about this. There's no way your wife is going full term 10 times.
Well, I saw it. I was watching it. Something about it.
I'm going to look into it. There's
Yeah.
no way she's going. I mean, you may can get one, you know, maybe it's miscarriages. There's no way. Full on babies 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know. No. We're not going to play no games with him either. We're not. So let's continue. Because I need to play this next video right after this because it's real quick.
May 27th, 2 weeks later, Samuel was reported missing.
Let me take it back a little bit.
Gulf Freeway apartment with a roommate. According to court documents, Balboa called her roommate while he was at work and tells him that Samuel is dead. Records show the roommate told investors.
And like I said, this is after she had took the baby from school, after her boyfriend took the son to school. She's like, oh, I'm going to pick him up. She picks him up. Not too long after, she's calling her roommate / boyfriend saying that the baby's dead.
Investigators that he and Teresa put the child's body in the bathtub for 2 days. May 13th, the roommate told police that he bought duct tape and a plastic tote, and they wrapped the body in a plastic sheet, placed it in a tote bag, and the body in his vehicle, according to court documents. He said he and Balboa drove to a storage unit in Webster. May 27th, 2 weeks later, Samuel was reported missing. The dad and the girlfriend held a news conference.
Look at her right now. And she knows where this baby's at. Because during when they go look for him and Tim comes down from EquiSearch, she disappears. Look at her acting so... Look at the front she's going to put on right here, y'all.
Balboa told authorities she was at her mom's house in southwest Houston, getting ready to take Samuel to school. Then Samuel's mother and a man dressed as a police officer demanded the child.
I had no choice but to hand him over.
A fact later disputed by Samuel's mother. May 28th, Texas EquiSearch posted a missing persons flyer with Samuel on their Facebook page. A day later, May 29th, the Houston Police Department also issued a flyer. May 31st, according to court documents, at this point, the body presumed to be Samuel is still in a storage unit, and Teresa calls another person asking for help. Meantime, on the same day, police in EquiSearch looked for the 5-year-old at the apartment complex and executed a search warrant.
We're really trying to figure out when is the last time little Sam was actually seen.
June 1st, according to court documents, Teresa and the person she called the day earlier drive the body to a motel in Jasper. That same person calls Crime Stoppers with a tip. Later that day, we hear from Sam's mom through an attorney. While speaking, news broke that a child's body was found in a Jasper motel room. June 2nd, Teresa Balboa is arrested in Jasper and charged with tampering with evidence. June 4th, 2 days later, Balboa is brought back to Houston. June 7th, on Monday, wearing an orange jumpsuit, Balboa makes her first court appearance. Prosecutors say charges could be upgraded, but that's dependent on the medical examiner's report. Meantime, Balboa's next court appearance is July 29th. So far, police and prosecutors have released a motive. If you'd like to look over this timeline again and check out the court documents, we've posted them on click2houston.com. I'm Brandon Walker, KPRC2 News.
In 1939...
So... First, they gave her a $500,000 bond, and like nobody was like okay with that. So they gave her another bond sentence. Let me see if I have it in here before I play the. I'm gonna play her bond really quickly before I play the what's it called? Press conference. Because so many people were fighting, like, okay, no, she shouldn't get, the 500,000. Everybody was trying to get a million, because she calculated this. She already knew her steps, and she told them this is what I was planning on doing. This was my plan. And they didn't give that to her. And it's like, if I'm not going to play the race card, let's just watch this real quick before I play the press conference. And y'all tell me what y'all feel. I do feel like a lot of these cases have to do with a color issue, but I don't want to make it seem like that's everything. So it is what it is.
So, like, they were really looking at the mom for this, though, right? Or
yes. Remember? Okay, so remember she had told the let me click on this because it's not clicking. She had told when they had came looking for the baby. In the very beginning, they came, they're like, okay, so where's the baby? She's at her mom's house. She's like, no, there was a police officer that came to my house and demanded I gave over Samuel to the mom and this police officer, or they were going to take me to jail. Her mom vouched for this. So that's what I'm still wondering, like, what happened to her mom? Because if her mom's vouching for this and they found out that that was a complete lie, why is it okay?
I wonder about that too.
And still to this day, nothing has happened to her. Nothing.
Everybody that helps should be in trouble.
I believe that too. And it's not happening at all. I've been looking into her mom. I've been still looking into Dalton because I just want to make sure that he had no dealings with it at all. And it wasn't like him trying to get back at the baby mom, because they said no. Even the baby mom at first, she was kind of looking at him like, well, maybe he was, but she's like, no, he wasn't even having any issues like that. She let him take the baby. She wasn't really, there was no problems. So she's just like, why would, there need to be any extra drama going on? I don't know.
You know what? He knew both of the women. He knew both of them. So, like, you would think he would be able to know which one was telling the truth.
True.
Because he knew both of them intimately.
Yes, and I do feel like he should have known that Teresa was lying about something. I think that in the beginning when she was like, oh, no, you can't come because he has COVID. No one took him to school. Oh, no, you can't come because he has COVID. I think that he should have, from that point on, been like, nope, where's my kid? Like, no. I think he should have said no and still went to see, because I know if my kid had COVID and he was with my boyfriend that picked him up, I'm not going to be like, okay, he can stay over there for 2 weeks and I don't come see him. Like, right. No, I'd be like, if I got to get COVID, I'm going to get COVID, because that's not happening.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would still go see my kid. So that's the part I didn't understand. I don't know, but I don't know if men are just different. But here, I'm going to play this real quick.
I would stay. I'd stay home and be with my kid if they have COVID, taking care
even
of
if I got to get COVID.
Right.
I'd have been like, I'll get it. I wouldn't care. Like, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? Why can't I bring this window up? What's happening? Hold on. What's happening to this window? I have nothing else open. Why is it not bringing it up? Which one of this? Because if it's not the... Okay, it's not like I got to play that right now. So I'm just going to go up. It might show. Is this it?
Oh, yeah. Like, if your kid has it, it means you were already exposed to it before you knew.
But she was lying to him, saying,
think about that.
She was lying to him, saying that he got it from like from her or something like that. I don't know, to a point where she made it seem like, because when we were doing all the research, she made it seem like, well, you can't come because you're gonna get infected and you can't. She played him. Basically, she played him. That's all I can say. And he went for it, and now his baby's not here. That's all I can say. Let me see if I can pop this up because I don't know why my windows aren't popping up.
Oh, that case I sent it to you. It was 7, but I think that they
7
thought there
kids.
was a couple more, like maybe buried in the backyard that they didn't get yet. Yeah.
7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad didn't know?
Nope. I sent it to you, but I sent you one of them, but there's a lot out there about it.
I think I need to separate my window because for some reason it's not letting me play any windows. What's happening? Let's see. Why are you guys doing me like this? Am I frozen?
No.
Okay, so I don't know what that's going on. Let me see if I can try to share it now. Okay, share. Is it this one? I hate trying to pick the window when I have to do it like this. Okay, that is it. Share. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna pop up because I have it right here, but I don't know why it's taking so long to pop up. Add to stream. You know, let me check. This is why. Let me see. Let me check mine. Here, let me put it on internet. Boom. Let's see if this pops up better. Because I have a couple of different networks. So let's see if this one pops up better. Am I frozen or no?
You're not.
Okay. So now let me click on here. Stop sharing.
Now you look frozen. I don't know if people in the chat can see. Or
I don't know. It's not letting me click on.
Well, you froze for a minute.
Oh, am I frozen?
You're not now, but you were frozen for a second.
Because right now I don't see me moving on here. So I'm like, am I frozen? Because I moved my, I switched over to a different internet. Because I have like my 5G, my 2G, and my extended network. But it's not letting me bring it up. Unless I'm going to have to bring it up where you guys could just hear it and not see it. But if that's the case, that's cool. Hold on. Because it's just the lady talking. So I think I'm going to have to do that. So let's make that smaller. Let's make this bigger. Let's refresh the screen.
Lemons, lemons, lemons. The world is so full of lemons. When you become an
And then this one. Oh, now it popped. Is this it? Did it pop up? Okay, hold on.
Yes, I see it.
That's crazy. Because it just like stopped me. Hold on.
The suspect connected to the disappearance of 5-year-old Samuel Olson just arrived back here to Houston.
ABC 13 was there as Teresa Balboa arrived at the Harris County Jail. She was arrested Tuesday night when Samuel's body was found in a motel room in Jasper. Reporter Charlie Etsity is live this morning with the new video. You were there when she arrived, Charlie.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Samika. That actually just happened a few minutes ago. So let's get right to that video. You can see there a Jasper County Sheriff's Department vehicle pulling into the Sally Port here on the backside of the Harris County Jail. It is thought, presumably, that inside of that Jasper County Sheriff's vehicle is Teresa Balboa. And so we've learned that she actually was being transported from Jasper early this morning, sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock this morning. So the timing of this does add up that it is most likely Teresa Balboa inside of that vehicle. And as you just mentioned, this is all happening 3 days after she was taken into custody in connection to the death of 5-year-old Samuel Olson. And so this is all, again, all happening as we also expect to hear from the father of Samuel Olson later on today. Dalton Olson, he was last seen on Monday, incredibly upset over the disappearance of his son. And sadly, just a day later, he would learn that Jasper police ended up finding the body of a child inside of a motel room that investigators with HPD believe to be that of 5-year-old Samuel. Now, Dalton's girlfriend, Teresa Balboa, who is now back in Harris County, she's charged with tampering with evidence in connection with Samuel's death. And court paperwork that came out yesterday reveals more incredibly disturbing allegations about what happened to Samuel. Now, it's believed that on May 10th, Balboa allegedly called her roommate and said Samuel was dead inside of their apartment in Clear Lake. Now, this roommate claims the child's body was covered in bruises and was kept in a bathtub for 2 days before the child's body was then stuffed inside of a storage bin and then moved to a storage unit somewhere in Webster, and then was eventually driven by another friend to Jasper, where this person left Balboa with the body inside of a motel room. And it was actually that friend who drove Teresa to Jasper, who then ended up calling the police. Now, an attorney for Dalton says he is a broken man. He's devastated. And this was his plea back on Monday when the search was still happening to find Samuel.
And we're giving the police every bit of information that they need. Anything we can and giving them phone records and all that.
Everything.
Just whatever we can to help. Just, like I said, just
Because it's about Sam.
it's all about Sam.
All right, and another live look out here at the backside of the Harris County Jail, the Sally Port entrance. A Jasper County Sheriff's Department vehicle just pulled inside of there. We do believe that that is the vehicle with Teresa Balboa inside of it. As for the press conference with Dalton Olson, that's going to be happening later on this afternoon at 2:30. Of course, we are going to be there. Guys, a lot happening with this case. We're going to keep you updated right here on ABC 13. Charlie at City, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
So yeah, a lot going on with that. Because my thing was switching over. But yeah, you see how she was in the background like, oh yes, it's all about Samuel. And
No,
you can't trust nobody.
You know what I was gonna say? If you put her little where she's like everything up right next to Jacqueline, they look like twins.
Yo, do you remember in the beginning, my very first video where I have like the super mom thing going up and she's like, yes, and she's talking so good about him and how, he calls me mommy and all that type of stuff.
Like even in the body language, they look like very similar. They sound very similar, like the way they're controlling that interview. It's weird. And that's why I wonder.
Yeah. The man is, you can see, I did think he had something to do with it, but after watching and going over, I was like, nah, I didn't think so after. And then watching the interview from the neighbors, and the neighbor had a camera and was showing, how he would like be so happy taking his kid to school on his neck or pushing him or, they're walking. I think she was very, very jealous of that relationship. And since, it's a time during COVID, everybody's locked up and, having whatever little relationship, she's locked up there with her supposedly ex or boy toy that he wasn't dealing with at the time, but it seemed like he had her back, thick as thieves. And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go pick him up from school. She didn't like their relationship, and she's like, I gotta get him out of here. She wanted to have that relationship with her dude that we gonna see right after this press conference with her baby dad. She wanted that with him because he was like, yeah, she would hit me up and try to get a relationship with her and the kids. And I'm like, no. And when this came up, he had a feeling like, no. She wanted that with him, to have that family, and Samuel was in the way. So she went through all of this and thought that she was going to really feed this baby to the alligators and it was going to be done. Come on. Like, sickening. Just, I don't know why all these females and males think that these children are, you know, the reason to their madness. Just don't get with somebody with a kid. Just don't get with somebody with a kid, or stop being jealous of these kids, because that has nothing to do. You do with the relationship with you and your woman, and her child has nothing to do with y'all's relationship. If she's still going to do what she's doing with that child's father, that's a different story. That has nothing to do with the kid. Let these kids live. Let these kids breathe. If you cannot be with a woman with a child, don't. Find one that's not, you know, already knocked up or already, because I see even men dating women that are pregnant at the time and just was with a guy, you know, whatever, wasn't dealing with him, say, oh, you know, I want to be there. This child knows nobody but this man, doesn't even know that that is not their father, and they treat this kid like crap. And they're like, why is my dad treating me like this? No, nothing.
Right.
And do these kids so foul? It's like, why? Just go do you. These are innocent children. I just don't understand it. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. Let's see. Hey, behind the bar, what's up? I see y'all out there. What's up? What's up? There's an angel of death going around in America. No, not even. No, I have a case that I'm doing right now. It's just that I'm getting a whole bunch of VPNs and doing a lot of digging and being nosy because it's in the UK. No, it ain't only here. Same thing. And I hear it over and over. Mom's boyfriend, mom's fiance, dad's girlfriend, dad's fiance. It's not only here. It's going on in the UK. It's going on all around the world. And that's why I'm starting to reach out to other cases. But me having to like get certain, you know, VPNs to access different internets because they don't give us everything here. It's taking a little bit of time. But by the end of this week, I'm going to be talking about another little kid named Logan. So I'm going to play this.
It's a lot of the times it's been the unrelated step parent, which there are good step parents out there. But
there are wonderful ones.
Some of them, some people you have to really look at before you expose them to your kids.
Right. And you know, like, you know how people be like, why are you single? Why are you single? I've had multiple, not even only men, women too, be like, girl, I got you. I'll help you with your kid. I'm like, no, I got me. Men, like, I'll be your father. I'll be your son's father figure. And I got him. I have men that are like, even during Christmas, I'm like, I got this. He got everything you want. They'll come by dropping off gifts, dropping off all kind of stuff for my son, but they already have a bond with him, just being like my friends or my homeboys and stuff. So they'll bring them by like gift cards or cards with money. And I'm like, y'all don't got to do this. Like, I'm good. But they already have like a bond with me. So they have a bond with my kid. And it's just like, I don't know. I just don't want to put that in a relationship where I feel like, oh, I'm coming with baggage. Like, I just want to do me. And if it comes, it comes. These girls being so desperate for these men and willing to allow these men to disrespect their kids or even lay hands. I don't even care if my kid slapped you. If you want to be with me, you better come holler at me. Because if you put hands on my child, we're done. Just consider it done. Consider it done. Because I'm just not going there. And if anybody think that's wrong, I don't want nobody else putting their hands on my kid. Like, not even his father. You not around like that. How you feel like you can have that much discipline to not be around, but just feel like you can like pop up and be like, hey, like, no. So let's listen to this press conference. And y'all out there, stop letting these new relationships come between you and your children, because at the end of the day, those can come and go. Your blood and your child is always going to be there no matter what. Just saying. I don't know.
My name is Heather Morris. I'm the Assistant Chief of the Criminal Investigations Command. And I wanted to start off here today by letting you know that I'm going to be providing some information on this investigation of missing 5-year-old boy Samuel Olson, now 6. But to start off, I just wanted to say that there's a lot of investigative work that's necessary in this investigation that still needs to be done. So I'm going to be providing some broad details about what happened and kind of connecting some dots and how we got here today. But just to start off, there's a lot of details I'm not going to be able to share because this is an active investigation, and there's going to be some things that we're really going to need to get right, to be able to, follow this thing up. So I wanted to start off also by introducing my team that I have with me here this morning. I've got Commander Null of the Homicide Division, and also I have missing persons investigators of the Major Assaults Family Violence Unit here with me. And I'll start off. I've got Officer Sean King. I've got Officer Brian Ford. I've got Officer Danny Doe. I've got Officer Martha Bailey, Sergeant Brendan McCord, and Officer Darren Busey. There's also, I just can't say enough about this amazing team that's standing behind me and the work that they've done on this case. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the work of all of these investigators behind me, as well as some additional investigators as well that are not here because they're out actively still working this investigation. And so I want to acknowledge Sergeant Persard and Sergeant Grimes and Officer Crowder and Officer Mr. Vinogradov and Sergeant Brady and Sergeant Casso. And all of these investigators have done just an amazing, phenomenal job. And there's still a lot of work to be done. But our hearts go out to the family members of Samuel. We are very, very saddened by the events that have brought us here today. This is an absolute tragic event, and our prayers go out to the family. So we've asked everybody here today to provide information on the investigation of 6-year-old Samuel Olson, who was reported missing to HPD on Thursday, May 27, 2021 at approximately 6 p.m. Patrol officers were dispatched to a residence in the southwest part of town where the father of Samuel, Dalton Olson. Also at the residence was Mr. Olson's girlfriend, Teresa Balboa. Mrs. Balboa told the officers on the scene that she was at the residence that morning at approximately 7 a.m. when she saw Samuel's mother with an unknown officer at the front of the residence. Ms. Balboa indicated that the officer told her that she would go to jail for kidnapping if she did not return Samuel to the mother. Ms. Balboa indicated that she recognized Samuel's mother because she had seen her before. Ms. Balboa told the officers that Samuel's mother and the officer left in separate vehicles. Mr. Olson told the officers that once he heard this story from Ms. Balboa, he contacted Samuel's mother and she told him that Samuel was not with her. Missing persons investigators began working this investigation and made contact with Samuel's mother. Through investigative efforts, they were provided evidence that Samuel's mother was at her residence throughout the entire morning of May 27, 2021. Investigators continued to follow up on this case, doing everything investigatively possible to find Samuel. Their investigative efforts included in part interviews with Ms. Balboa, Mr. Olson, Samuel's mother, and others. Missing persons investigators discovered inconsistencies in Ms. Balboa's statements and consulted the Homicide Division. From that point, a collaborative effort was conducted by both the Missing Persons Unit and homicide investigators. Also, Texas EquiSearch assisted in searching multiple locations. A search warrant was obtained for the residence in the 15,000 block of the Gulf Freeway. This is the residence where Ms. Balboa was living. On Monday, the search warrant was executed by investigators, and the Houston Forensic Science Center collected evidence from that location. That evidence will be processed and analyzed for its forensic value. Also, a 2012 Dodge Avenger was towed from that location to also be searched and analyzed for evidence. Yesterday,
Dodge Avenger,
investigators
that's
were
what it
contacted
was.
by Jasper Police Department, and they were notified that they had received an anonymous tip from Crime Stoppers that led law enforcement officers to a motel in Jasper, Texas, in connection with this investigation. Jasper Police Department officers initiated contact at the motel with Ms. Balboa and eventually discovered the body of a young child. Ms. Balboa was taken into custody. At this time, we believe the child to be Samuel, but we cannot confirm that it is him until the medical examiner makes that determination. The Texas Rangers took lead on the investigation, and homicide investigators traveled to the location to continue their follow-up. At this time, the Harris County District Attorney's Office has accepted charges of tampering with evidence against Ms. Balboa. Once this case has been fully investigated, investigators will be presenting the case to the District Attorney's Office for additional charges if appropriate. In addition to the investigators that I've already identified today, and again, I just can't say enough how proud I am of their work and all the efforts that they put into this investigation. But there are other people that help with this investigation. So I just wanted to thank some people that I know that have been involved in this investigation. And some of those are Texas EquiSearch, Tim Miller, and all of his people that he has with him. The Harris County District Attorney's Office, specifically Samantha Connect, that worked with our investigators to get search warrants. The Texas Rangers that helped out at the scene last night. Jasper Police Department, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, the Jasper County District Attorney's Office, our Houston Forensic Science Center, and also Crime Stoppers. I would like to open it up for questions, but again, a lot of the details I'm not going to be able to provide information on just because of the seriousness of the investigation and the ongoing investigation. So if somebody has any questions.
There was, I think Monday, that detectives said that they believe that the child wasn't missing last week, but since April the 30th. Is that still something that you guys are looking at, or he disappeared on May 27th?
So we know that the last day that Samuel was in school was April 30th. So other than that, we don't have the information yet as far as when was the last time that he was actually seen. So that's a big part of what we're doing right now and the conversations we're having right now to determine when that was. But April 30th was the last day he was in school.
In what stage do you know that the child was found? Was he with trauma or anything like that?
Right. So I'm going to leave that for the, once the, medical examiners have done their, done the work on that and not get into the specifics on that. And mainly because, a lot of that we don't have yet. We just don't have it until that medical examiner is able to do their part. Has Ms. Balboa said anything? So, she has been talking to investigators because, like I said, we had some inconsistent stories. So we have talked to her multiple times, and that's going to be ongoing.
Can you talk about a little bit the house on McAvoy? You guys were there yesterday, searching the house, searching the area. What was found in that investigation that led to?
You need help. Let God.
So McAvoy was the location where Ms. Balboa reported Samuel missing from. And so obviously that's a place that, we have an interest in. As far as anything else there that led us to Jasper, McAvoy doesn't have any connection at this time that we know of to that. What led us to Jasper was the Crime Stoppers tip that came in, letting Jasper PD know that Ms. Balboa was there at that location in a motel there in Jasper.
And that Dodge, excuse me if I missed, is that Dodge, do you believe that it belonged to her?
We believe that was a vehicle that she primarily drove.
Okay, but we don't think she belonged to her.
As far as the actual ownership, no, but that is a vehicle she primarily drove.
Does Ms. Balboa have any criminal record?
Well, I can confirm that Ms. Balboa is out on bond currently. That would be for a assault with intent impeding breath.
Was there a protective order against the dad, Dalton Olson?
I am not aware of a protective order. A protective order. No.
From Ms. Balboa with Dalton, the dad.
There may have been some conditions of the bond, but specifically a protective order, I'm not aware of one.
So she was on bond on an assault charge against him.
Against the father of Samuel's father.
How did she get to the motel in Jasper? Was she with anyone?
So we're still investigating that, and we have additional people that we're talking to. I don't want to get into details, as far as that goes, because I think it would be very premature. But yeah, we're talking to, we have several other people we're talking to.
Do you know if the child was already at that motel and she arrived there after, or?
So I would probably hold off on that one. And again, that's going to play out. We'll, as we go through the investigation, we'll be able to, shore up a lot more details on that.
Do you have any motive why she would take him? Why Jasper? Why a hotel? Is there a motive behind this? It's so heartbreaking.
It is absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely. And as far as a motive, we do not have a motive at this point in time.
Is there anybody else you're looking as a person of interest? Anybody else you're looking to take into custody?
No
We
motive.
do have other people that we have an interest
motive.
in talking
Wow.
to in this investigation. As far as charges, we're not there as far as charges go. And but we do have additional people we're talking to, definitely.
But that's not the father of the child included in those other interests?
So I think that I'm not going to say that the father is a person of interest, but he's definitely somebody that we can continue to talk to and get information from.
How many would you say are people of interest?
I really couldn't say exactly, but there are several people that that we're interested in talking to additionally.
How was Samuel brought in from the car into the motel?
Can you say that again?
How was Samuel transported from the car into the motel?
So we are working on surveillance evidence, from the hotel, and so that'll play out once we, do further investigation.
Can you read what she was what charges she was taken into custody on, and you said she's bailed out already on those?
Okay, so she is on bond for a case from November of last year. Okay, and that's the assault with intent to impede breath. And that's the one where Samuel's father, Dalton Olson, was the complainant in that case. Currently, she's on bond for that case. The DA's office here in Harris County has accepted charges for tampering with evidence at this time. And again, once we do more investigation, and if appropriate, we'll be, working with the DA's office to pursue additional charges if that's appropriate.
She is in custody right now.
She is in custody. She's actually in the Jasper County Jail right now. And so we're working on finalizing getting our charges filed here. Like I said, the Harris County DA's office has accepted charges here in Harris County, and we will be trying to get, working through the process to get her returned to Harris County.
Got it. Do we know how Samuel was potentially killed?
We do not. We'll have to wait. That'll come from the medical examiner, investigation. Yeah.
Will Ms. Balboa make a court appearance in Jasper County today?
I don't have any specifics on that. I do not know.
Did Jasper police comment on how Ms. Balboa acted or reacted when she was apprehended?
Yeah, I do not have that information.
The mother in this case, the mom.
Samuel's mother.
How is she doing, and has she indicated any kind of threats from Ms. Balboa?
I'm not aware of any. Obviously, as a mother, I understand she's, extremely upset, but I'm not aware of any threats or anything like that.
Do you know how long Samuel may have been dead?
We do not know. And that'll be part of our extensive follow-up investigation.
Any other questions? And folks, please remember, he has not been positively identified yet. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay. Anything else?
Anything else?
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
One question. That apartment that you guys served the search warrant on Monday, who specifically does that belong to?
That apartment is where Ms. Balboa lives there. That's her residence. And there is another male that lives there with her, but I don't want to, at this time, we don't want to identify who that is.
Do you know Ms. Balboa will be brought back to Harris County for?
Yeah, so our intent is to work through the legal process to get her returned to Harris County. Yes.
Any other questions? All right,
Okay.
folks,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Do you want to say?
So was her assault charged from the dad or against the dad?
The mom.
Yeah.
Are you speaking of the mom?
No,
yes. Remember?
Was it the stepmother's? She had assault charges, or was it the mom?
Okay, the mom of from my recollection, the mom of Samuel, her and Dalton used to get into because remember we kept mixing up the names. There's Dylan. Okay, let's play that. There's Dylan, however you say his name, that was living with Teresa. Remember?
Yeah.
And supposedly Dylan, the dad of Samuel, was having problems with the mom in the beginning. So that's how that all came about with all that nonsense. So hold on, let me play real quick the mom's not little, but you know what I'm saying. The mom, how she, was going through this whole situation, and that might kind of clear up a little bit of things, but hold on. Share. Because I know they were having a little bit of problems and all that. So.
We're here today to have Miss Sarah talk about yesterday's charge.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so young lady in the background, this is Samuel Olson's biological mother, and she's going to speak and say her whole part. And because you know how Teresa's like, oh no, she came and picked him up with a police officer demanding him. You guys are going to see her part of it. She had nothing to do with it, and now I don't think Dalton did, but Dylan, that was her roommate and her ex, did have something to do with it. So here we go.
That were filed against Ms. Teresa Balboa. It appears to be that justice is on its way for little Samuel Olson. And here's Ms. Sarah Olson that has a few words for you all.
Hi, I'm Sarah Olson.
Okay, it lost sound.
You said there's no sound?
Yeah, she just said my name's Sarah Olson, and then it cut out.
Okay, I'm going to do it again. Make sure you can hear. Just say I can hear, because I'm going to mute me. That way you can only hear there and there's no echo. So when you hear it, just tell me.
No sound. There's still no sound.
Okay, so there's no sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute that one and give me the sound. That way it'll fix that whole problem. I think it's because it's on a new window. I think it just changes it when it's on different windows. So hold on. Now I know that. That's a good thing. All right, so let's start over.
Against Miss Teresa Balboa. It appears to be that justice is on its way for little Samuel Olson. And here's Miss.
Is there echo?
Sarah Olson that has a few words for you.
None.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sarah Olson. I want to start off by thanking everybody for the prayers and the support and for helping bring justice to my son. I want to thank the media for getting his story out there. It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time.
Wait, hold on, because I moved it over to the same screen that we're on. I think that's why that happened. Hold on. There we go.
To my son. I want to thank the media for getting
Can you hear it?
out there.
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time. And it feels like it's also just begun. And I'm thankful that someone's finally being held accountable for my son. And I'm hoping more justice gets served.
Through my online store alone, we've sold over $500,000 worth of.
Can you talk a little bit about, your first reaction, your initial thoughts when this news came out yesterday?
Honestly, I was a little angry. I am thankful for her getting charged for the murder, but I know for a fact someone else needs to be charged, and he's still out there, just running around free.
Who was that person, Sarah?
It's Sam's father. It's Dalton Olson. He was supposed to keep our son safe.
I feel that's real sad that she automatically jumped at him because they were having issues. I feel like they should have had a conversation before any of that. I understand us as women, we get hurt. Yes, he's with another woman. But I do not feel like after going over this case as I did and so extensive to the point where I am now, that he knew anything about how this woman was. Because when I went into her history, looked into her background, I don't feel like he even knew any of her underlying issues. And I feel like he was bamboozled for real. Because when I looked into her background, and y'all know, what does Naomi say? She's what?
She looks at both sides. I know.
No, I'm nosy.
You're nosy.
And so I went and I dug and I looked into her background. She got some things that's not cool. Like, not cool at all. And I don't think he looked into that. I think it just seemed, because even though she looked a little ratchet, because I think I have some pictures of her looking a little cute.
I actually feel what the mom's saying about she feels like the dad should be charged because he's supposed
No. But this is before she found out some other things, remember? You got to remember.
But what I'm saying is I understand where she's coming from, because she, as a mom, didn't expect anybody else to protect her child but the father.
Yes, I get what you're saying. But when they haven't been together for so long, he's able to give more of the stable home because she's dealing with the things she's dealing with. And he's literally trying his best to do whatever he can to just have a stable. And he was doing it good because he was dealing with his friends at home and thinking she was going to help him out. Look at this girl on the screen. Wouldn't you feel sad for her too? Like, oh, she's trying to help me, And then she goes behind your back and tries to take the most precious thing to you because, in my opinion, you're not giving her what she wants. She wants you in a certain way that you're not giving her you. And we're dealing with COVID. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna take my kid here. You're thinking, she's like, okay, baby, I'm gonna go pick up your son and you can come get him when you're done doing what you gotta do, because I know you're trying to make money for your son, trying to do stuff so you can help, do stuff for me too as well. But no, you're being so jealous that now this little boy is a threat to you. I don't understand that. But all right, Teresa. Which face to you looks more genuine? This one or this one? So for Teresa, let's get a 1. If she looks more genuine. For Dalton, let's do a 2. So in the comments right now, who looks more genuine? If you put 0, that's neither one of them. Does she look like more genuine? Like she's really looking out for Samuel and she's really looking for this little baby boy? Or does Dalton look like, I'm really looking for my son, I'm really trusting her? Or none of them? What do you think?
They both kind of like, I don't know. Both of those pictures look kind of shady. She looks genuine. The mom.
Let's see in the chat. Let's see.
And he didn't. He took him away from me for what? To have him murdered?
There are now 3 people who have been charged here, including the 2 gentlemen who are accused of helping Miss Balboa dispose of and transport Samuel's body. As prosecutors work to put this case together, what do you expect from them in terms of what they know about what happened to your son and what they should be talking about and telling prosecutors as they work this case? Or any thoughts on that?
I just hope they did say everything. And for everyone that was involved, I hope they did name them. I hope the police do know and are just keeping us in the quiet, because it is an open case still. I'm thankful that they did come forward, because without them, who knows where my son be.
Can you describe just, you talked about waiting for this moment, because you've been waiting for this. I know the words are hard to come by, but just describe what your family's been going through, Sarah.
We've been going through a lot of pain, not knowing, and it's anger. We have anger, and we just want all those that are responsible to be held accountable.
So can you talk about if you were able to finally get closure remaining the baby?
We were finally able to cremate Samuel. I was able to take Samuel, his ashes, home on, I believe it was the 27th. We'll be holding a private service for him tomorrow.
So the fun thing with the serpent is, how does a serpent talk? What, and not only that, but why is the serpent's punishment?
What did that mean for you that you were finally able to to go through that process. After waiting days that it take, in your heart it was like so long.
Honestly, I was waiting so long to get my son back. This isn't how I wanted to celebrate him coming back. So it hurts. It hurts having to do this because it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Sarah, is there an ability for you to be consoled or counseled through this? I mean, no one can imagine experiencing what you're experiencing and what you're living. I mean, how are you getting through it?
My faith in God is strong. The prayers, my prayers, y'all's prayers, I believe that really is getting me through this. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know how I'm standing here talking to you. I don't know how I'm processing it other than I have faith in God. And that's it.
Sarah, what's next for you, I guess, as this moves forward? What are you going to be doing?
Living day by day, being the best I can at whatever I'm doing. Life's hard, and it just got a lot harder. So
I was a little bit frustrated that it takes so long for somebody to get charged in the death of your baby.
it was very frustrating. It was all honestly, the person that I feel really needs to be charged is still walking around. And that's really what I'm waiting for.
What should he be charged with, you think? What did he do wrong?
He originally kidnapped my son from me. And then he put him in harm's way. Knowing there was a court order against Teresa Balboa, he handed our son to him? You endangered our child. And who knows what else happened? Only he knows, and he's sitting there silent.
Oh yeah, Jeanette, do you remember right before this? Because it was a big thing about they had just got into it because I think she slapped him or she did something to him. And there was a restraining order out on her. And there was no reason why they should have been around. So that's why she's blaming it on him, because she was like, if you were to follow the court order, you shouldn't even been around her. Our baby shouldn't have been around her. And that's the reason why they're blaming him, because he had a restraining order out on her for her attacking him. Remember?
Yeah. Those pictures that you popped up, she aged a ton from whenever those were taken till
these are all from her page. Like, I have so many more. Like,
but
that I need to edit. I didn't even get a chance to edit these, but like this.
Like, if you look at that,
this is her
picture,
right after this. We're gonna hear her speak. We're gonna hear him speaking. This is baby daddy of these
put
kids
the
right
one
here.
up of her crying when you said they're trustworthy, and look at the age difference. Like, that's like 15 years.
And then everybody was like, do you think it's because of, no, she has a African-American child. That's her pregnant. So we're going to get into more of that. Let's go ahead and listen to her, because we're going to get into these pictures, because I got a lot to update, our audience on, because she just got a lot of going on with her, and it's just not okay. Watch it, guys. You guys want to leave y'all baby mama. Honestly, a woman that is willing to give her body to having your child It takes a lot for us to even be like, okay, we're going to do that. So just know that that woman has a lot of love for you. Stop taking on these newbie, fresh feet women that want to come in your life for who knows why the reason is, and tossing your child and, you know, a woman that cares for you dearly to the side. Because, yeah, there could be drama. There's always going to be drama in a relationship. But everybody needs to learn. We are all growing. There's ways for us to communicate and talk and make things work for us and our children. But if we're going to constantly argue and nicker and nagger and not even like listen to each other, that's when it ends up being toxic. If we can just, someone shut up. Girl, sit down, shut up, listen to your man for a second. Because you know it's hard for them to listen to us. We got a little bit more self-control. So just sit your butt down. Listen. I know it's going to take a lot. Listen. Then tell him, babe, I listened to you. Do you still need more to say? If they do, let them continue. Babe, you done? Okay. Now let them hear you and let them understand. Let me finish. And don't think this is an argument. This is just us talking. Don't think it's an argument. Let us talk and have an understanding before it goes all crazy. And now you feel like you gotta, do all kind of crazy stuff. And then you go out and you're dealing with a Teresa now wants to take your flesh and blood and minds away from us because of some jealousy. Like, let's stop that. Unless it's truly something that could just not be fixed. And I believe a lot nowadays, since it's so not frowned upon, a lot of men and women are just like, well, we're done. Instead of trying, it's okay. No, let's try to keep these families together, because they always want to say, oh, black families this. It's not only black families, it's families all around the world. Let's try to keep these families together and not have these outsiders coming in being jealous of the bond between the children and the connection of, oh, your baby mom is still cool with you, but she don't want you, but they can't understand us, so they get a jealousy. We need to stop that, because we need to have our children grow up and live their lives to the fullest of their ability. So let's continue this, and we'll continue on from there.
Have you heard from him?
He tried contacting me about a week after they found Samuel, but I did not answer his phone calls.
If you were to talk with him, what would you say to him? If you're watching, what would you want him to know personally from you?
Tell our son's story. Stop being silent. Let us know what happened to Sam. There's no way you didn't know.
What about Teresa? What if you had a conversation with her right now?
No words for her.
Hello, Queen. Are you wanting to leave your corporate job?
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anything else you want to share, Sarah, before, anything else that's on your heart?
Just thank you all. Thank you for getting my son's story out there. Continuing to share him. Thank you.
Do you have any message to other parents, moms, that probably are facing similar situation that you were living last year?
Keep fighting. Just don't stop fighting for your babies. Do whatever it takes. Just make sure they're safe.
Um, like 2 of you popped up.
Buenos días, estamos aquí reunidos el día de hoy. Mi nombre es Joana Anaya con el grupo de abogados González y nos reunimos el día de hoy porque la señora Sara quiere expresar sus sentimientos y cómo se está sintiendo el día de hoy después de la noticia de ayer. Ayer la señora Teresa Balboa le impusieron cargos por asesinato tocante al menor, Samuel Olson, y ella quiere que ustedes sepan que ella está muy agradecida con los medios, con la comunidad, por haber ayudado a que este caso llegara a donde está actualmente. Por fin alguien ha sido, y le han impuesto a alguien cargos por la muerte de su hijo. Y aunque no es algo que celebrar, ella se siente un poco mejor de que la justicia al fin aparentemente se está llevando a cabo, porque la señora Teresa ha sido, le han impuesto cargos el día de ayer.
¿Puede repetir en español acerca de los servicios funerarios?
Sí, la señora Sara pudo llevarse las cenizas de su hijo el 27 de junio para su casa. Iba a tener un servicio memorial para su hijo. Pronto va a ser algo privado para su familia. Y ella quisiera que si en estos momentos el papá del niño, Dalton, si la está escuchando, ella quiere que él sepa que es tiempo de que él hable y diga la verdad sobre los hechos de cuáles llevaron al punto en que estamos ahorita. ¿Qué le pasó en realidad a Samuel?
John, habla la parte cuando Sara dijo que aunque Teresa tiene cargos, ella en su corazón siente que todavía alguien más que está caminando libre debería enfrentar cargos.
Sí, Sarah siente un poco de alivio ahora que Teresa está siendo o va a ser juzgada por la muerte, pero aún en su corazón ella siente que la persona que debe de estar al lado de Teresa ahora mismo es Dalton. Él debe de ser también juzgado por este crimen, porque si él no se lo hubiera arrebatado de sus brazos, de su vida, no estuviéramos aquí el día de hoy.
Como abogada de familia, ¿qué mensaje podemos darle a otros padres que están enfrentando estas batallas en la custodia de sus hijos?
Sí, como mensaje, desafortunadamente tenemos este ejemplo de que no es nada saludable para los menores ni para ambos padres estar entreteniendo algo como tal. Evidentemente, la relación entre dos padres tiene que concluir y lo mejor es que sea a través de una manera saludable, sin batallas, sin andar arrebatando menores a uno al otro y solamente aceptar que una relación terminó y ahora hay unos hijos de por medio que los dos deben de tratar de comunicarse y llevarse bien para evitar situaciones como la que estamos el día de hoy presentes.
Thank you so much, everybody.
So look, This girl was just so. Let me show you some pictures of her. Like you said, Jeanette. You like, well, you know, she this, she that. No, look. That's her. Let me show you her baby's dad. Do I still have it up? Because I know a lot of it got clicked down. But I do want, okay, let me take this one down because there's one where her son's father is speaking. And it's like, yo, like the way he talks about her is like, I don't know. Can you hear me? Am I talking?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you. So that's
Okay.
not her. That's not the dad there, though, right?
No, I got him right here that I'm about to play. I just got to make sure I'm not going to play the, the commercial. But I'm going to play the dad. Oh, no, that's the dad. Yes, the picture is the dad. I thought you were talking about before. Hold on. The picture is the dad.
Does she have more than one child then?
No, she has 2 kids. She has
Okay.
2 kids. She has 2 kids. He, hold on, let me take this down. Hey, Miss Veronica, how are you? But no, this is, let me bring up the pops. And he seemed like he's very level-headed. I'm going to toss the link in the chat again. As long as we can have a conversation on topic based. I'm going to bring up the dad. That's him. But we're going to bring up his interview. And he's saying like how she started hitting him up after this, trying to like come up to his house. I hope this is it. Hold on, let me make sure it's it. I hope it is. Hold on. Is this it? Or did it go to the front? I don't want to pop the wrong one up. Hold on. Okay, that one's out. Let me make sure I'm going to pop up the right one because I don't want to play it. Hold on. Oh, there it goes right here. Pause. Okay. There we go. Let me stop screen, share screen. This is her BD of her 2, I want to say it's 2 daughters. Is it up there? Oh, no, here. Boom. Let me take that picture down, though. Let's take her little picture down.
Insight into her troubled past.
Only ABC 13's Jessica Willie.
And Jessica, he told you that this situation scares him?
Yeah, Alex Rizzo says Teresa Balboa, the one he knew, was a good mother. He admits their relationship was unhealthy, sometimes even abusive. But while he says he's on a better path, she's in jail.
To know that somebody I loved, cared for, did that to a child, it hurts. It scares me.
There was a time when Alex Rizzo knew Teresa Balboa the best. They were together for at least 10 years. She is the mother of his 2 daughters.
I've known that girl for a long time, and I know that she's had problems. I know that she's had a difficult life, but you never think, I would never have thought something of this magnitude would ever happen.
Alex says they broke up 4 years ago. It was far from amicable. He moved to North Dakota and then Oklahoma for work. 2 months ago, he reached out to her to see if she needed help.
While I'm in the position that I'm in, let me help you do better so that our kids can have their parents. And she went MIA.
In 2019, Teresa lost custody of their children. She didn't even show up to court. They are now being raised by their grandmother, little girls 8 and 6 years old, around Samuel Olson's age.
All I've thought about since I found out about it is my kid in that my children in that poor little boy. Like, to be dragged around in a bag in a box as if you're just a freaking trophy. That kills me for that little boy. That kills me for that mother. That kills me for that father. If he had nothing to do with it, then that kills me for him as the dad.
The 30-year-old says on either May 23rd or 24th, 2 weeks after police now believe Sam had died, Teresa contacted him.
She just called me out of nowhere and said, "Hey, is the offer to still come up there open?" I told her, "No, not anymore." And then she stopped replying. From what I've heard on the case, she had already done what she had did, and she had that little boy wherever she had him, and was trying to use me to run away from it.
Instead, according to court records, she turned to a male friend in San Jacinto County who helped her get to Jasper before giving her up. The 29-year-old, who also has a son from a previous relationship, remains in jail, accused in Sam's death.
She's convicted of killing that child. I hope she gets the worst things that could possibly happen to her. That's a child, and she's a mother. That little boy was younger than my daughter is. I know that the Teresa I knew at one point in time was a good person. Whatever she's become or whatever she is now, that's not the Teresa that I was in love with at one point. That's a conversation that now I have to have with my kids one day as to why they won't have their mother again. That poor kid's mother will never have him back, and that kills me.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Do you hear that? Do you hear what her own child's father is saying about her? Just to think about this young woman with him right there, okay, with their kids, okay. They're looking little, look. I mean, their daughters right here. This is her first son right here. Her first son. Here's her first son. Here's her first son. So it's not her first, second, third rodeo. Why do you want to do that to somebody else's child? Look at her beautiful child. First son. She had two sons with the man that we just seen right here. And then she has this amazing, gorgeous, little, handsome little boy. So why do we need to harm him? Why do we have to manipulate a man that thinks he's getting some goddess doing this and have you feeling like this?
Right.
Doing this. What's that? And have you feeling like this after you acting like this because you care about them. Stop, Teresa, because you know I'll pull up to the jail cell you in whenever you get stationed about to do your life, and I'll pull up like, hey, baby girl, can we have a talk? Because what Naomi is,
I don't
want to know what's going on. Naomi is nosy. So Jeanette, you came up on panel. You weren't the first top, I don't think. So you have your 2 tickets. Miranda, we have Oscar twice because he was the first. We have 0874 White. We got Jay. We got John Illuminati. Let me go back in here because we got one more that was pretty active. Dee Gibson. Dee Gibson is who I was going to do. D. Okay, so I'm going to put these in here right now. And you guys know if you guys come on panel, that's an automatic ticket. Even if you didn't get one on top, you already get a ticket for hopping on. And that's why you got yours. Moderators, you get a ticket for popping up. And so that's why y'all get yours. And if you first 5, you get yours as well. Got an extra one on here. And my next live, I'm going to say the ones from the live before because I'm already telling you guys who are in this one. Unless anybody else pops up on panel because I got a couple of more things to show with this case because I'm just trying to have everybody catch up. So then when I'm like, hey, we're going to get back on this case, go to this, you guys can fast forward, go into things, but this is going to have everything in the one live. So let's go to the next topic. Oh, this is the $600 bond that I was going to talk about, but $600,000 bond, but I don't really want to talk about that. Who cares? Let's see what this is going to say, and we'll continue from there. I'm just going to play all of these just because I want to have like something to where everything's kind of compacted because I don't have any of my old stuff for my old computer, and they completely trashed my hard drive. So
wow,
this is about to get going, and I just want, everybody to be up to par. Okay, there we go. This one's a minute. Oh, what happened? Oh, they're gonna. Okay. Hopefully, they don't do us a commercial. Let's see. Commercial, I bet you. Okay, maybe not. No, I think I'm still missing. Oh, it moved back down. Let's see. Wait, why isn't she playing? Hold on. Wait, why is it? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go.
Tonight, it is the confirmation we have been waiting for and dreading at the same time. The medical examiner confirms the remains found in a Jasper motel are that of Samuel Olson, and the 5-year-old's death was no accident. Matt Doherty has been following this heartbreaking case closely and joins us with what we learned today. Matt?
Our legal analyst says the simple way to say it is this: Samuel was allegedly murdered. Just as authorities had expected, the medical examiner's office has concluded the body found 150 miles from Houston in a Jasper motel room is that of 5-year-old Samuel Olson. The initial autopsy report states the boy died from homicidal violence. His cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head. Tonight, Teresa Balboa sits in the Harris County Jail with a $600,000 bond. She's charged with tampering with evidence. However, the district attorney's office says she could be facing more charges once the official autopsy is complete. Prosecutors say Balboa's roommate first found out the boy was dead on May the 10th when he saw the boy's lifeless body on a bed covered in bruises. They say he and Balboa moved the child into the bathtub and later moved his body to a storage unit. Last week, prosecutors say Samuel's body was removed from the storage unit.
They say a different man went with Balboa and moved Samuel's body
to the motel in Jasper, where she was later arrested and the body was found. Neither of the men have been charged with any crime, although investigators haven't ruled out the possibility of more arrests as the investigation continues. In Houston, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Hey, Naomi, did Dad move it to the storage unit? And then
No. Okay. So that's where all the confusion was coming in. Okay. The dad is Dalton. The boyfriend, whatever that she called him, was like, oh, I think I killed him. That was she was sectioned because they have all that stuff in there. There's Dylan and Dalton. That's Dylan that was living in the apartment with her that she had because they also were going to have the maintenance people coming over to check on something. She took him from being in the bathtub for 2 days. She took him in the bedroom, calling Dylan home to help her to do that. So no, 2 different Dylan Dalton, the friend that helped with the transport of it from the bin to the hotel is another guy. So she had 1, 2, 3. She had her boyfriend and then 2 guys help her.
Okay.
Yeah. So Okay, so here's the next part of it. I'm just trying to catch y'all up because when we start getting to it, I want y'all to know what we're talking about. All right. So here's like another little brief. Take this down. We're gonna give you another little brief timeline, and then we're gonna go to let's see what's after that. The third person that's involved that I was just talking about. We're gonna go to. Well, actually, I'm gonna show you the second person and the third person that's involved, the allegations, and then what's going on right now. So we can just bring it all full circle and be done with this. And when we start talking about it, you guys will know. Okay, so let's go straight to this. Because I know a lot of the new people don't know what's going on. And I lost a lot of my files. Once Lalita jumped on my stuff. So here we go. Full volume, hold on.
$100,000 news. The bail for the second person arrested in the death of Samuel Olson set at $100,000. Benjamin Rivera appeared before a judge within the past hour for the first time this afternoon on charges he tampered with a child's body. Adam Bennett, live outside the Harris County Jail.
Madam, police say they questioned Rivera extensively about what happened. So what?
Okay, that's where I messed up. So the guy that helped her first. Okay, so it's Dalton is the guy she was with, which is Samuel's dad. Benjamin Rivera is who she was texting from her house when she first noticed that she took his life, and she was saying, I needed help. That's Benjamin, who she was living with. Dalton, Benjamin, Dylan. Dylan is the one that helped her with the crate to the hotel. So we have Dalton, Benjamin, and Dylan. I'm trying to get them all together so I could bring them back to memory. So there we go.
What did they find out?
Well, they said that Rivera and Teresa Balboa, they are now facing the same felony charges here. They believe that the two worked together to hide Samuel Olson's body about 2 weeks before he was reported missing.
I believe the police.
Today, the lawyer for Samuel Olson's mother told us, she said, quote, "I'm thankful justice is beginning to be served," after hearing news of Benjamin Rivera's arrest for tampering with evidence. But Sarah Olson says she won't talk to the media again until someone is charged with murder. The chain of events leading to this moment started nearly 2 months ago. April 30th is when police say Samuel Olson's father, Dalton, told him his girlfriend, Teresa Balboa, took custody of his son. That's also the last day the boy was seen at school. On May 10th, court documents say Balboa called Rivera and told him Olson was dead. Rivera and Balboa allegedly later placed Olson's bruised body in the bathtub of their Southeast Houston apartment. 2 days later, new details in court documents claim Balboa texted Rivera to say she was planning to move Olson's body into her bed because of Rivera's warning about maintenance entering the apartment. The next day, police say Rivera bought duct tape and a plastic tote, then put the body inside. Police say surveillance video from May 22nd at a Webster storage facility shows a man and woman roll up in a pickup like the one Rivera drives. In the truck bed, a black tote like the one police say Rivera bought. The video allegedly shows the two place the tote inside a storage unit. May 27th, Olson's father, Dalton, reported his son missing. Police say surveillance video proves Balboa's claims that the boy's biological mother took him are not true. May 31st, EquiSearch looked for Samuel Olson, while police searched Balboa and Rivera's apartment and towed her car. The next day, police say Balboa called another man for help and met him at Walmart in Cleveland. Court documents say the two then drove to the Webster storage unit, picked up the tote, and drove to Jasper. That's when court documents say the man reported to Crime Stoppers that Balboa and possibly Olson were inside a Jasper motel room. Jasper police officers immediately went there. Inside, they found Balboa and Olson's body. Rivera is due back in court tomorrow morning, Balboa later in July. As for that man who allegedly drove Balboa to Jasper and made that Crime Stoppers tip, he has not been charged at this point. Back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much.
So yeah, that is like what's going on with this whole case. It's just been being crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is only 2 minutes. Let you guys go ahead and see this part. I think there's only 2 more like 2-minute things we can catch all up. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on, and from there we're gonna start following this again, because we got to let this be known of what's going on now in today's society, and why it's not okay for people to not listen to their children. Mom, John is hitting me. John is doing this. Or not even that. With Ibram, there was, with that case, the little boy, light skinned as can be, bruised all behind his ear, broken ear bones, all that stuff. His mom's just like, oh, well, he fell down the stairs. Oh, well, he tripped. No, stop acting like a kid just tripped because you out of town or whatever. Start looking into what your kids are saying. If they're saying, he hit me, he did this, stop taking these men's word over your children's word because you love them. Get out of here. I respect none of that. Let's go. You have something to say, Jeanette, before I continue?
Oh, no.
I'm over all these kids losing their lives to women being in love.
Right.
And love ain't. Let's go.
Well, both ways.
Right.
Olson case, a second person has now been arrested in connection with the 5-year-old boy's death. Samuel's body was found on June 1st out in Jasper after authorities received an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers. And now 27-year-old Ben Rivera is facing charges in connection with this case. Our Brandon Walker is live tonight at the Harris County Criminal Justice Center, where Rivera just faced a judge. So, Brandon, what have you learned about Rivera's arrest?
Well, Chris, he faces the same charge as Teresa Balboa in all of this. From information testimony he gave HPD investigators. And that's a key point here, according to our legal analyst, because this is a case against Balboa, but investigators will need what Rivera has to say and what he knows about all of this.
Mr. Rivera.
Benjamin Rivera Wednesday in magistrate court charged with tampering with evidence, human corpse, a body believed to be 5-year-old Samuel Olson.
Almost there.
The boy, last seen by teachers April 30th, at some point made it to Rivera's apartment in Webster, the one he shared with Teresa Balboa, the one investigators searched one night before a body believed to be Samuel's was found with Balboa at a motel in Jasper. Court documents in the case against Rivera pretty much echo testimony Rivera gave Houston police in their initial investigation into Balboa. One detail, however, potentially places Rivera's knowledge of Samuel's body in the apartment 5 days prior than initially reported. Quote, on May 5th, Rivera received a text message from Teresa Balboa stating, quote, I need to talk to you before you come inside.
This is not a whodunit. This is not a case that appears to be defensible.
KPRC2 legal analyst Brian Weiss says that's because of what Rivera already has said, telling investigators he tampered with Samuel's body. Weiss says that makes Rivera a key witness in the state's case against Teresa Balboa.
Certainly, Mr. Rivera is in a position to give the state of Texas Ms. Balboa on a platter.
So if you're Rivera's defense, what's the strategy?
This is a case where you, as a reasonably competent criminal defense attorney, make the best possible deal you can for your client, because anybody who's watched Law & Order knows the first one to the courthouse gets the best deal.
Yeah, that's because Rivera told investigators that he helped Balboa move the body in the apartment, purchased the tote and the tape used store. It also drove Balboa to that storage unit seen on surveillance video carrying what is believed to be the body in that storage unit. That is the implication. Meantime, calls to his attorney not returned today. Another attorney did not want to offer comment. A judge setting bond today at $100,000, considering Mr. Rivera a flight risk. Live downtown, I'm Brandon Walker, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, guys. So now, real quickly, I have two more things to show. We're going to look at the third person that I've been telling you. So now we have Teresa Balboa. We have Dylan, who was the dad, Benjamin. And so let's go to the third person that was involved in this. And I just want you guys to be up to par, like I said, when we start deep diving into this, because it's taken us so long to get to this point. And here we go.
Now to new developments in the Samuel Olson case. A third person has now been charged in this case.
Court documents say 27-year-old Dylan Walker drove Teresa Balboa, who was dating Olson's father, to Jasper and rented out the room where Olson's body was found. He is charged with tampering with evidence. Also, court documents say Walker is the one who called Crime Stoppers. KPRC2's Jacob Rascone spoke with Walker's mother and has more on what she had to say about all this. Jacob?
Yeah, Lisa, his mother is shocked. She says she thought that her son did everything that he could to provide all the information that law enforcement needed. As you said, he is the one that led authorities to Samuel Olson's body, but court documents say that he did more than that. Police arrested Dylan Walker Thursday afternoon at his workplace. His mom says he did not resist and that they're both shocked because Walker led police to Samuel Olson's body. He called Crime Stoppers, a fact confirmed by court documents. But court documents also say Walker rented the hotel room where Samuel Olson's body was eventually discovered, and that Walker drove Teresa Balboa to that hotel in Jasper, along with Samuel Olson's body hidden in a plastic tote. Walker did, quote, intentionally or knowingly conceal the corpse of Samuel Olson with intent to impair its availability as evidence in the investigation, his indictment says.
Let me say something with that. In the very beginning, he kept saying no. He didn't know that the baby's body was in there. He said he went because she had told him to meet him at a Walmart parking lot. He helped transfer the body. There was a stench. Transferred it over to the, I don't know if he went with her to the storage unit to pick up the body, and that's when he smelt it, or he had it in the car. That's when he smelt it. But I think she met him there, went to the storage unit, put the bin, the black and yellow bin in the thing, and he was like, "Well, I smell a stench." Took her there, thinking he was gonna get him a little good. Nah, this is all in my perspective, because he said he stayed there with her for some time because he had took the body or the bin out. But after they had been in there for a while, and then it's like, okay, I'm about to leave. Let me take the bin out. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, I got a smell. Left her there with her. He smelled the smell, and that's when he kicked the alarm and let them in there. So I think he got him a little nana-yita before. I could be wrong, but it just seems a little bit sus. So let's continue. Y'all let me know. I'm going to drop the link.
Legal analyst Brian Weiss.
He's charged as an accomplice. He's charged under the law of parties, which says share the crime, share the time.
3 people are now charged in connection to the 5-year-old's death. Teresa Balboa, the girlfriend of the boy's father, Ben Rivera, her roommate, and Dylan Walker. The first 2 charged with tampering with evidence of human corpse. Walker charged with tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair.
I think police and prosecutors have done a masterful job of lining up the pieces on the chessboard that will ultimately result in a checkmate of Teresa Balboa, specifically Teresa Balboa being charged with either capital murder, or injury to a child.
So both men charged here out on bond, and Teresa Balboa is still in jail. The DA's office says they have located or identified the potential murder weapon or the weapon used to kill Samuel Olson. They have not revealed what that is. Reporting live here in downtown. I'm Jacob Rascone. Lisa and Annie, back to you.
All right, Jacob, thank you.
Let me be direct.
Net.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is my thing. This is my big question. What are women supposed to do? Because you're a little bit older than me. If you're trying to have, because it's going to be my topic on Tuesday. When you are a woman that has a child or children, what do you do? Like, do you just say, I'm not going to date? Or, like, how do you continue that on?
I mean,
go ahead. Or men. I want to say men too, because in this situation, we're dealing with men. So that's what my topic is going to be on Tuesday. It's like, so topic Tuesday. If you are a man and you have children and you're not with the biological mom of your kids, how do you date? And vice versa. That's going to be my topic. Because I don't understand in a situation like this. Just because you have a kid by someone else, a woman needs to be jealous? What?
I personally wouldn't date somebody else that's not in the same position as me. So when I dated my husband, we both didn't have kids.
Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't date somebody else, somebody who already had kids, but I was young when I met him.
Right.
But if I was single again ever, then obviously I would date somebody who is in the same position as me. I don't think I would date somebody who doesn't have kids.
So you would never date anybody that doesn't have kids?
Not now. If I was ever single again, I wouldn't date somebody who doesn't have kids. I would want like somebody to know where I'm coming from. So you wouldn't be able to relate to me if you didn't have kids yourself.
So even if that person was like, it's somebody you've been hanging around with a while and they're like, I know you got kids, but I don't want to have kids at all. And I never wanted to have kids, but I'm cool with you having kids. You still wouldn't date them?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And why is that?
Because I don't think that I think that there would be a reason that they don't want kids. And I think that maybe they wouldn't have like patience for kids.
What if they feel like, I'm already past that point and anybody I try to date already has kids or don't have kids and I don't want to push them into that?
I mean, I guess if that's a reason, but if it's like, I don't want kids just because I don't like them, that would be a red flag for me. Because some people don't like kids and don't have patience for that.
I'm asking that because is Oscar in the building still? Oscar, pop up. Oscar has told me that. I'm like, Oscar, do you have kids? He's like, no. He's like, but if it came to a person, he wouldn't, so would it be like, can you trust people that don't have kids, men or women? I don't know.
With your kids? No.
No. Okay.
I mean,
I think I'm going to open up this topic for another time. Because
people are going to come yell at me for that, but I wouldn't personally. I don't know.
So you would never deal with another man or woman, vice versa, that didn't have a kid?
No, not since I have kids, no. I would deal with somebody in the same position as me that can relate to me.
So say if you
when I didn't have kids, I could not relate to somebody who did have kids.
And I feel you, because someone that had kids, I was just like, nope, I couldn't deal with you because I just didn't want to deal with the baby mom and all that stuff. So I can feel you. So you're saying just now, in the point where you are now, like, you wouldn't deal with somebody that doesn't have kids at all. Like, even if they're like, look, I never wanted kids, I don't want kids at all, you still be like, no.
No.
Okay.
And if they did have kids, if they weren't involved with their kids, I wouldn't deal with them.
Right. That's what I'd be kind of like, yo.
So they would have to have kids, and they'd have to demonstrate that they were a good father to their own kids before they could be around my kids.
That's why I kind of be like, did I mess up? You know, because I know my son's dad, there was like no proof. A girl was kind of like, oh yeah, but she would never prove it, and she'd be like, no, you're not the dad. This is dad, and it kind of was like whatever. But do I fault him for that? I don't know. It's kind of like, well, now you're kind of just doing your thing. Your kid needs you there, but you're kind of like worrying about another female. It's kind of like, okay, so would I deal with another person that is not putting their child first? I don't think I would.
Oscar said
I just don't think I would, because it seems a little bit scary, because then it's like, who else is going to be with their child? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just seems a little sketchy.
Oscar said, so if they had kids and they didn't have kids, they would damned if they did and damned if they don't. No, Oscar.
Nah, pop up here, Oscar. Let's talk. Let's have a decent conversation. Invite you.
Have kids, Oscar. They have to demonstrate that they are a good father, a good person around kids.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have kids, they can't even demonstrate that, so they're out.
That's what makes it scary. But then it makes it also scary because you know how like guys can be so good around you and your kid, and then when they're not around them, it's kind of like, shut up, you better not tell your mom. It kind of makes it scary. I just watch too many movies and it makes it scary for me.
I don't know. Maybe if I didn't marry so young, I might not be married because I would be picky. Because another thing is, if they would have to have like one baby's mama and not like
no. I'm cool with like a cool baby mom, maybe. If you got like one kid, but if you got like a trillion kids, like, nah, we good.
Yeah, if you have a bunch of different ones,
Go handle that. I'm gonna play this last thing on here, and this is what I've been trying to play for you guys. And this is just showing where we are right now. And look, it's gonna make y'all mad like it's gonna make me mad. The defense attorney is like, no, we do not want to move on with anything because we need to go over everything in the case after all this time. I'm like, so what we've been doing this whole time? So I'm going to let you guys hear this little quick segment. And this is why I'm like, okay, it might start moving now after they're like now saying, hey, we need to start getting a movement. We need to start doing this. We need to start doing that. Dude, I'm like, what was y'all doing this whole time? We've been waiting, right, Jeanette, for Samuel, because she already was caught in the act. Everything was there. She even said, I was trying to take him to Mississippi to this, and that. Why is it taking this long to convict this woman? Why? So here's where you are, because the defense attorney wants to say
Oscar said, what about people who've been with people who had kids and they were fine, and why would they not be allowed a chance?
No, don't answer him. Don't answer him. Let him pop up. Nope.
I got to answer.
No. We're going to watch this and let him pop up, because I want him to have a full conversation. So he's not going to be able to be like, oh, no, I didn't have it. Nope. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I want other people to go ahead and pop in. This could be a conversation that we have right after this.
Because I have a good answer.
So, I know you have a good answer. Don't say it yet. We're going to pop this up real quick. So that way we'll get this last little visual in. So this can be in one video. Here we go. And then Oscar, pop up. By the time this is over, you should be already in the building. Did it play? Let's see. Wait, what happened? What's this? Okay, stop this. There we go. What is this? Not interested in this. What is this little thing that's not letting me play? Okay, here we go.
To this story here, Teresa Balboa is charged with capital murder, accused of killing Samuel, that 5-year-old. Excuse me, who was her boyfriend's son. ABC 13 reporter Charlie Edson is at the courthouse, where there was a little bit of drama there, Charlie. So why was Balboa unable to show?
Yeah, Bree, well, it all comes down to the fact that the judge really wants to keep this case moving along. And so it was revealed in court today that there is a mountain of evidence in this case that the defense team now has to sift through. And so that's going to obviously take more time. So the judge is really trying to keep things on pace here with this case. So she was really trying to hammer out a date of when the next court hearing can happen. But that still remains unclear because the defense says, hey, look, we need that time to go through all of this evidence. But Teresa Balboa was a no-show in court today, but we did speak to her lawyer and we'll hear from him in just a second. So what is in this evidence? Well, according to the defense team, it's about a terabyte of information that was handed over from investigators on this case on a hard drive with things like cell phone records, body camera footage, GPS locations, and a whole lot of other information coming from the investigation that, once again, the defense team says they need a lot of time to be able to go through so they can start building their case and also find the experts they need to analyze all of this information. And it's important to know that this is not coming from just one agency. This is a complicated case that crossed multiple jurisdictions. But Judge Hazel Jones, she's presiding over this case, and she did ask today in court whether any more evidence can be expected to be handed over, because again, she wants to know all of this because she's trying to set that date for that next court hearing to keep things moving along. But we are closing in on 1 year since investigators say 5-year-old Samuel Olson was brutally murdered, allegedly by Teresa Balboa, who was this child's father's girlfriend at the time. Now, the details of this case are horrific and bizarre. I know so many people remember when this happened. It was back on May 27th that Samuel was first reported missing. At the time, Balboa claimed a police officer had taken that child because of some sort of a custody issue. But investigators on this case say that is not what happened and say evidence shows this little boy was murdered weeks before he was initially reported missing. His body kept in a storage unit and his corpse later discovered in June inside of a plastic bin in a Jasper motel room where Balboa was hiding out. Balboa is facing a capital murder charge in this case, and her attorney spoke out about the status of her case.
There is so much discovery that it's like terabytes of information, because there's phone records, there's DNA, there's GPS records. There's so much material from.
And I did.
Do you guys understand what terabytes are? They didn't say 1 terabyte. Terabytes. Do you understand how much information that is? Mm-hmm. And you know what's going on through my mind is because in the very beginning of this case, when it got this deep, there was so many text messages that she was sending to Benjamin about, oh, I think I did this. Oh, I think this happened. Oh, he's not breathing. Oh, he looks blue. Oh, this is so much stuff. Like, yo, I wish now how they're trying to put everything as like, you can't say anything, whatever. No, I wish you could put everything out about these people, because that shows the mindset and how much she was trying to cover this up. And, this is your little flinguito. This is your little Sancho, okay? You got your little Sancho living with you down at tech, whatever rap you got going on, that you're texting him, hey, I think I did this. He's ready to come home and go purchase things to wrap it up and help you. And you still like that? And then when he's even done with doing that, you got another little Sanchito that's going to come pick you up from the Walmart to have you go, like, girl, I'm done. This girl, and there's pictures I could show you. She had the mermaid hair, real pretty. And like Jeanette was saying, it looks like she aged right after this quickly and nasty. Let me let this play so we can just go ahead into our convo.
Asked the attorney about how long he estimates it's going to take for him and his team to go through all of that. He could not answer that question because there's simply so much evidence in this case. And it's important to also keep in mind that Balboa is not the only person charged in this case. Her roommate also is facing a charge of tampering with evidence, namely a corpse. So that's the update here from downtown. I'm going to toss it back inside to you. Charlie Edsity, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Wow, Charlie, thank you for that update.
So Oscar says, what about people who've been with people who had kids and they was fine? Why they not allowed a chance? IDGI? What's IDGI?
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Wait, Oscar, so you're saying they lived with the person who
Yeah.
had kids?
Yeah.
Well, look, those are called like hobosexuals, and those all need like a lie detector test before you give them a chance.
Why'd you say that?
Wait, homosexual? Whoa. What's a homosexual?
It's a man who targets a woman and they move in so that they can stay with them.
But what makes it that they targeted this woman and that they didn't just meet and then they got along and then
No,
you
but
found out she had a kid?
There's men out there that just do that so that they can like live for very little.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's not for every case.
No, but it just happens. I'm just saying.
No, I know what you mean.
And then some of those men will move in with a woman so that they can touch their children. And they may leave and the women may never know if they've scared the children enough. So you have to be just extra cautious when it's...
So why are they not allowed, well, not them, but the ones that aren't homosexuals, why are they not allowed a chance if they have the experience of being with a person who has had a child and it was perfectly fine?
But how would you know, Oscar? Because it's only the one per... You have to make sure your kids are safe.
Of course, but
you can give them a chance, but you have to see their behavior for a long time before you bring them around your kids.
Of course, you would have to make sure that you trust them enough to be around your kids first.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's nothing wrong with someone having a chance with someone that has a kid then, as long as the person trusts them to some degree or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I agree.
But I think like trust is something that has to be earned, and like a lot of people that like do awful things to children are like the most trustworthy to the person, because that's what they always say when stuff like that happens.
Yeah. It has to be earned, like he said.
So where you at, Naomi?
Because Naomi must have thought I was gonna get what's the word? Made to look silly, but it turns out we're on the same page.
No. No, you don't look silly. I'm just saying, for me, it's like Dr. Phil always says that children with a non-related parent are at a higher risk of abuse. So that's where, people do have to be really careful.
Of course. Even if you didn't have kids and you were with someone, you still have to be careful because they could still do stuff to you too.
Right.
And vice versa, even for the person I want to be with you, it could be you that has the issues and not them,
Right. Right. So imagine if you can't protect yourself, and that too, that causes people problems too. If something's ever happened to them and they couldn't protect themselves, imagine how high of a guard they have to be on.
Of course,
Protect their kids.
They're gonna have to really trust you.
Right.
Before they even consider it.
Right.
And that's gonna take time, because it takes time to get to know a person. And even then, even if when you know a person, there's still that risk, but it's down to them if they're willing to take that risk.
Right. But it would matter if the person even wants kids. If they don't, like maybe they didn't have a chance to have kids, that's one thing. But if they just don't want kids, that would bring a question for me too.
Oh, of course.
If I was gonna,
because if they wanted kids, but the person doesn't want kids, what if they're fine with that outcome, that they may not have biological kids with them, and they consider other options to have kids, like adoption and stuff like that?
Right, because it's not just a black and white line, because some people can't have kids.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say if I knew somebody had like a special circumstance like that, that's different than.
Yeah.
Where's Naomi?
I have
Naomi.
She wanted me to come up. I come up, and now she's gone. See, she's scared. She tells me to get out my trash can. I get out my trash can, and now she's not here.
He heard me say, give a lie detector test to homosexual. She's probably reading about it. She's like a homosexual. That's a real thing, though.
Yeah, I know. There are guys there that target women so that they can just get a place to stay and just use them for their benefits that they get.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are men like that. That is true. But the thing is, there are men like that, but then people sometimes generalize. So they know that not everyone's like that, but then instead of them knowing that not everybody's like that, they still paint everybody with the same brush, which I don't really find fair.
Right.
Because if we know not everyone's like that, then there's, you just got to be a good judge of character, trust your gut, be smart, don't just rush into things,
Right.
and do your background check. I always say do your background checks, because anyone can say they're not this, they're not that, and then you do your research, your due diligence, and you end up finding out this guy or girl has got countless, charges of things you wouldn't even imagine.
Right. Exactly.
Always good to make sure you know who you are talking to, and you're not just going off face value, because anyone can say anything.
And if somebody's rushing you too, that's a bad sign.
That's a massive red flag. If they're not patient and taking their time and they just want it desperately, that's a big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody that happened to. She met somebody at church.
Oh, okay.
At church. And she went and married him within 3 weeks, and then saw that he was on the registered list.
Oh my. Now that is someone that did not do their research.
Right. So, so it can happen where, people get excited about a new relationship and they get blinded.
Oh yeah. They need to know it's not a fairy tale. Like, no relationship, marriage is perfection or this fairy tale Disney dream, Not that it's horrible, but
But she had to have that annulled because she found out couple days after that he was on the registry.
Did she divorce him straight away when she found out? Did she still?
Yeah, she did. I think she had it. I think she had it annulled, which is not the same as a divorce, but
That's kind of like my brother and his wife. Not the same situation, but, you know, the same outcome. They had to null and void their marriage because they no longer are together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I bet that lady doesn't go to that church anymore. Or
yeah,
does she still go
probably not.
living life with egg on her face?
I know, but people that don't like look at crime stuff don't always know that that's where predators go. Sometimes.
Yeah. They go to places where they know women are the most vulnerable. So they'll go church, they'll go mosques, they'll go synagogues, they'll go to the library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is true.
Veronica said, I think people jump into relationships so fast. That's true.
That is absolutely true. That is true. Always take your time. Don't rush, ever. I learned that.
Right.
Do not rush.
But you do have to, how do I say that? So people say that they have past mistakes and stuff, and you're really not supposed to judge it and look at the person for who they are now. But when you have children, you do have to look at that different, and you do have to consider those past mistakes.
Absolutely.
So, like, if somebody has certain histories, you might not, even though they might be okay now and a good person now, you might want to consider.
Yeah. Like if they had like domestic violence against children or something, like sexual cases against kids, stuff like that. And they say
Anything that can endanger your children or cause you to lose your children.
Yeah. Like putting them around people that maybe be involved in crime, and they're, around that child and their mom, the kid's mom, that puts them at risk as well. They just have to be legit and just make sure they pass all the checks, and they have to be okay. They have to be okay with that though, because like the person has to be okay with that, because the woman is gonna have, she's gonna be cautious regardless. It's just natural instincts for a mother to be cautious.
So how long do you think it takes before like skeletons fall out of a closet?
I don't know. It just depends how good you are with your due diligence. You got to make sure you're contacting friends and relatives, but don't make it obvious, because then they might cover up for them. You got to kind of make it like you're just friends, sort of thing. So that you can find certain information out. Otherwise, you might not get what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah. So for the skeletons to come out, depends how well they're good at hiding it too.
Mm-hmm. So Veronica said, I believe that a lady should date a man outside of the house for a while before bringing him around her children. When I dated, my kids didn't meet him for 6 months until I felt safe myself. And that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's right. Because you want to make sure okay, they can be around my kids. But even then, sometimes in certain cases, they can, you trust them, and then that's when they feel comfortable now. Because remember, that 6-month time period, to them, it's like, okay, if I just act good and, I don't show no signs of anything that's going to make her suspicious of me, then by the time I'm there, she's not going to, her guard might not be as high. Because she's comfortable around me now. So now I can be more comfortable, and that's when it starts to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But your kids have to be comfortable too. So if your kids, when they meet him, they feel like he's a creep, then you should believe him.
Yeah, it's time to go in that sense.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
I was listening, but I was getting. You guys know I got hella pets. So I got the wormies. So I'm about to feed them wormies, but I'm listening to y'all. And these are live. I just went and got live ones today, and they're so like, they're disgusting right now. And I'm just trying to pick them up, and they keep swarming. I'm like,
oh, okay.
it's disgusting. I'm still listening. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna mute me because when it just sounds nasty. But I'm still listening. I just don't understand. I'm gonna let y'all talk.
We already had our talk. You were gone.
Yeah.
I've been gone for a minute because I just cleaned out y'all friend. Who's y'all friend? The little one. Y'all know me, so y'all gotta know him. The one down
there. Your friend? What?
The
that
lizard.
The lizard.
Oh, you out of line because you really should know what it is. Jeanette should know for sure.
Your lizard friend.
Yes.
Did you just swear at me?
No, I didn't swear at you. Say hi, Papa. He said hi.
He looks lighter than he did.
You know why? Because he's about to shed again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's about to shed again.
Because he used to look.
Because that's why he's going real slow right now. Because he's really like lethargic. Oh, I have a red mark on my hand from my makeup, and he's like, he's about to bite me. Because it's like when I put the crickets in there, I put like a little. There's
What's his name?
Lucas.
Lucas. Okay. Why is he called Lucas?
He's in this thing, and I go. He jumps out. He's like, "What's up? What we got going on?"
Why is he called Lucas?
Messiah names him. I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Look.
Veronica said she had 4 girls and still didn't trust the guy. And I think you trust your gut always. Because if you second guess it and then something happens. What?
Yeah. That's true. Always follow your gut and be prudent. You know?
She said when we moved in together, I never left my kids with him, and I started dating him when they were 2 to 3 years. But they was 16 and 17 before I left them with him. That's good. And that's true too.
I still wouldn't even. My son was 3 when me and his dad stopped like mainly talking. Still, even though Sasai kids fully talk, I need you to fully be like, Jeffrey did whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And I'll be like, did he do it? And you be able to be honest because he knows my pet peeve is repeating myself. If I have to say it more than 2 times, I'm upset. More than 3 times, I'm done. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not saying it again. But if I say be honest and you not, nah. So, no. I know for a fact if something's going to, you see this?
Ew.
That he turned out to be wonderful and they stayed together for 25 years.
That's a beautiful thing, Veronica.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
That's a worm? What is that?
No, it's multiple worms.
Ew.
Moving around in sequencing.
It doesn't look like I'd want that for dinner.
No, but I gotta feed my babies. And it's nasty, so.
Looks like jail food.
Look like jail food?
Yeah, I don't know what jail food looks like, but if it looks like that, I want to go.
What do you say? Because when I put it in here, they go crazy. I'm like, I don't think they go crazy for jail food. Ooh, they going crazy. I really want to just like give these fish away. I don't even want to sell them. I have so many fish that have babies. It's crazy.
I had fish
When
one
I
time.
talk to you guys, I gotta take this filter off so they get mad. Ugh, disgusting. Because I have 4 different fish tanks. And I'm about to get more. So it's like, yo. And this one has, I don't even know how many fish I got in here because there's so many of them. I'm having babies after babies after babies after babies. Babies. Don't act like I'm the center of the conversation. I'll keep going.
What's the next question?
Because the conversation I'm going on tomorrow is going to be the lead. The conversation is just how do us men and women, single, I'm not going to talk about it now. This is tomorrow. You know, if you're not in the same relationship you are with the man or the woman that you conceived with, how do you go on be after that, or make it come back to it? Go ahead and have your little fun, and okay, you got your kids, you can just make sure the other little Yeezy don't get her little socks sweat and get a little baby coming out. But have all the fun you want to have, and then go back to where you planted your seed, is what I'm saying. So that's what we're going to talk about then. But until then, like you guys know, I'm going to start my membership, and for conversations like this where we go in the backyard and we're going to talk, and we can talk for hours and hours at a time. That's the only reason why that membership is going to be a little bit more than my 2 lower memberships, but the ones where we like literally talk for hours and hours and hours, that's going to be a little bit more because, dude, like, I love y'all and I take pride in talking to you guys and having you guys' opinions and us looking into cases. And that membership is going to literally be us looking into cases together. I can't give you guys personal information of the people I'm looking into, but as far as us going into like deep diving and all that, that'll be that part of it. But just getting like, you know, the normal patches and the badges and the conversations that come out before the actual lies, yes. But when we're having like deep dives, like what I want to do right now, and us go into more, you know, deeper conversations that I get more information from, and I pay for memberships into other things to get the information I need. Yeah, that's what the main membership is going to be about. So I just want to say we're going to come back to this case. We know right now that from what the defense attorneys are saying right now is they need to go back into all the information, even though it's been all this time that they should have been doing it. But whatever, I'm on the defense side because I really want her to be tied up for what she did. So I'm going to let them go through it, comb, fine teeth comb, go through all the evidence to make sure we're getting everybody on anything that they've done to give this little boy justice. And so that's the only reason why I'm down for it. But within the membership, I'm going to have 2 lower tiers and then 1 higher tier that's a little bit higher, just because that's where I'm going to be giving out all my personal information and us being together. And if someone's willing to leak it out to someone else, I should be like, okay, well, at least, you know, you're in the membership to do that. So That's the only reason why I'm going to have my 2 lower tiers, where we're still going to have, the one with the badges and things like that. The second one where we have right after I come down from that tier to be like, hey, this is where we're going to go on to the day before. And then the main tier to where we're like really magnifying together. We can work together and we can bring information together. And I feel like we're grouped together to bring my resources and all of our resources together. That's the only reason why I'm going to make that tier be a lot more higher, because I just feel like I want it to be people that actually are rocking with me and not trying to get over on me like I've been done in this whole experience. So I am going to have my 2 lower tiers and then one that jumps really high. So I'm just letting you guys know that. But on the one up from just the emojis and things like that, you guys know the day before, we going to have our conversations and we going to brainstorm and we going to still be together. But as far as doing the deep diving, yes, that's going to be, they'll say, oh, she thinks she's cool and she could, make something that high. It's only because I'm protecting myself and the information that I'm getting and the things that I do to get my information and the, money I put into it as well. And it's really being not a private eye, but deep diving is what I'm saying. And so that's all I'm going to say on that end. So net and Oscar, thank you, Veronica. Thank you for everybody that's in here. I got one more ticket that I didn't put for who's been in. Can you guys give me another person? Because y'all both been here. Give me another person that has been in and out of the chat faithfully that I don't already have, because I think I have everybody.
Well, Veronica's been here right now. Some JJ was in here earlier.
I got JJ. I got him already in there. Or her. But you know what? It's my money, and this is the free one. So I'm going to do JJ. You know why? Because JJ has been through the whole entire chat. Now I just look. So oh, Miss Veronica, you're popping up, and I'm about to go down. Where's my thing? Where's my chat box? Hey, Miss Veronica, how are you? Okay, let's put it in here.
Hi, Miss Veronica.
Hey, Miss V. You there? Miss Veronica?
I'm here. How are y'all?
How are you, my
Good.
love?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been missing y'all.
I know. Where you been at?
I've been seeing all the work you're doing. It's good.
I know.
I've got 5 places that I'm getting ready to jump on in a minute.
So for you guys that don't know, this is just for the top 5 or people that engage in the chat. This is my box that I have. And this time around, you guys are going slow. I need you guys to get up in here. For every $5, you guys get 2 tickets. I only have, but you know what? It's also been me slacking, and I'm going to say that as well. I haven't been doing a lot of lives, but I only have 2 different people, and I don't know if they want me to say their names, but I only have 2 different people in here. So you guys can get that $100. I need you to guys get in here. Every $5 gets 2 tickets in here. You guys gonna let somebody get it way easy? Go ahead. Naomi Trinity. Cash App. Go ahead. So, Miss Veronica, did you get your $100?
Yes, baby, I got my 100. Sure did.
Okay.
And I got it within Miranda. 2 or 3 days.
Yep. And Miranda, I gave her hers early because I was gonna wait a little bit. I gave her hers early. She got partial of it, and then she should already have the rest of it. I don't know. I asked her, but I don't know if she received it. And then She also got a gift as well because she also won, the one that I tell you guys, the first 5 in the chat. She also won that prior to that. So none of this has anything to do with me. Literally, my son picks out things, the tickets, and that's what it is. She had been in the chat, and this was before she was the actual moderator that she got picked for that. So, guys, I just want everything to be fair. I give out stuff over here just to show you guys my appreciation for you guys supporting me and also supporting people that need help. If you guys ever out there like, hey, I have a niece, a nephew that's missing, or they got a fundraiser, or my daughter needs tap shoes, or whatever I can do, whatever the case may be, I'm down for the kids. But when it comes to crime, I'm trying to be versatile, but everybody's like, no, you're only for the kids. It's not that I'm only for the kids. It just gets to me more faster and makes me, jump at it more quickly. But no, I'm for everybody and anything like that. I just want to be a channel to where it's not like, oh, you're trying to get 2 million, you're trying to do this. No, I want to be that channel to where it's nationwide known. If your daughter's missing, if you need this, if your dad needs a pacemaker, if whatever, just something to where everybody could come to and say, hey, Naomi, you put my dad on this, keep my mom on this. That's all I want to do. I want to be a center to where everybody can say, hey, can you get this message out? And that's what I'm trying to build. That's it. That's all. I don't want to be anything more than that. And people are like, well, why are you trying to jeopardize your channel for talking about this cause or this cause? It doesn't matter. I just want everybody to have their voice, if that makes sense. That's all. So if you guys have anything, and like I said, Motivational Mondays, if anyone wants to come on here and say, hey, I have something that I want to talk about that inspired me to talk about it. Like I said the other day, I went to drop my son off at school. Something this small is what I'm talking about. Don't got to be nothing big. Something this small. A lady stopped, and it made the person on the opposite side stop to allow a mother and her 5 children cross the street. And I still was able to cross into the street because I was on the opposite side of the cross to come in. And when I rolled my window down, I was like, I pointed at her and I was like, and I motioned her. That's what I'm talking about. She rolled her window down. She was like, that's what I'm talking about. She said it right back to me. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. Something so small to allow these children to get to their class on time just from one car stopping. Couple seconds in their life, let them cross and keep going. And I'm like, yeah. We're all like, yeah, whatever I'm saying. Just small things like that. Even if it's something that small, to where it's something 5 minutes of me being on here, I don't care. Because I got more stories to talk about. Just anyone that wants to say anything, DM me. Hey, I experienced this the other day. Because hopefully that would motivate somebody to do the same thing. I seen a little kid kick his soccer ball into the street. And a big kid from the opposite side that wasn't even in their party came in and just stopped the cars before he even seen the kid run down to it. Stopped the cars, and I was like, that was so cute to me because I know he knew that kid was gonna run in, but before that even kid was able to run in, he stopped everybody. I was like, and I was like, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, I got some candy because it was Messiah's birthday. And I was like, you want a gift bag? He was like, yeah, I gave him a gift bag. That's what I'm talking about. Take, initiative. Take responsibility. We all need to be accountable for each other. So that's just what I want to promote here on my channel. I know it's little, but hopefully it'll grow bigger and let people know, it's not just you waking up in the morning. Everybody else is waking up as well. You're trying to make a little sunshine in somebody else's day. That's all I care about. So, did you have something to say, Miss Veronica? I'm about to turn my whole live down, but we could go in the backyard and talk. You guys know, and that's what I'm saying.
No,
And the
sweetie, I don't
main
have anything to say.
membership, we're gonna pop in the back. That's what I'm gonna start doing. So, you good? Yeah,
I'm wonderful. What about y'all?
I'm good.
Oscar, how's it been?
I'm all right, thank you. And yourself?
Jeanette, how have you been?
I've been good. Did Naomi fall down or?
I think so. I think she accidentally kicked herself out.
So what do we do? Do we wait?
No,
Or
I'm not out. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
I clicked out. Sorry. But then I'm like, click. I'm like, what happened? No, we're all good. So I'm just gonna let everybody know. I'm gonna start my membership up. So for what's going on right now, it'll always be like 24/7, and that's why it's gonna be a little bit more pricey for us to just like chill and stuff in the backyard, because literally we are a family over here, and we do talk about cases, we do deep dive and things like that, and so we're gonna wrap this case up. I don't know how I clicked out. I was like, what happened? We love you guys. All right. Y'all tell them bye, because we gonna go in the backyard.
Oh,
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.